said,
I actually
why
listened
didn't
to-
you call her? He said, I'm not sure if I tried it. You're going anyway.
I actually
I was like,
tried to listen to a couple of our commission meetings, and I noticed that, and that's why I pull it down now.
smart enough when you're.
Couldn't hear myself half the time. I can't hear the way it is, so what difference does it make? Oh, jeez.
Get some of those 24/7 chairs up here.
God darn it. Remind me after the meeting, I'll have time, I don't have time. I was up there, Cindy took a bunch of pictures about this encroachment. I need to email them to her. So after the meeting, I can do this so she can print them. It was so cold, and it wasn't this bad, but it was not comfortable up there that day.
One of the other officers was asking me last week if I could fly a disposal site that's a drone. I'm like, well, I can't do it Wednesday, and so I'm like, either Tuesday or Thursday. Oh, we would really like to do it Wednesday, and the wind. I was like, that's not gonna work.
The drone's just gonna.
No, it's gonna go.
Find it in Washburn.
Maybe.
If you're lucky.
Oh, no way.
Silent mode on.
I don't think that Ford can go that fast to catch up with me.
Cause that plane can fly 40 on its own, without assistance from.
Without a
Picturing people living along the highway now, doing whatever they're doing in the wind, and then 15 minutes later, here comes the truck. Here comes the truck.
Out of range, out of range.
Yeah.
Drive faster, drive faster.
There goes the Mercer County deputy. Woo!
Yeah.
All my friends.
Okay, I'll call the regular Wednesday, November 17th, Mercer County Commission meeting to order. Shanna has the roll. We have the agenda in front of us. Any additions to the agenda?
I have one addition. I'd like to discuss the landfill guidelines pertaining to the wind.
Landfill wind guidelines.
That'll be number 5. 6 will be portfolios.
Just for you guys, I don't know if we need to add this. When we just talk about road issues, I want to give you guys a road levy report and some information about levies and taxes. And I don't know if you need to add that or not. We can put that on with road issues.
Okay, any other additions? Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
I'll move to approve the agenda as amended.
Have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Travis?
Aye.
Marvin?
Aye.
Liza?
Aye.
Wayne?
Aye.
Jean, aye. The minutes of the November 3rd meeting, do we have them in front of us?
Yep. Twice, 3 times.
They should have been in your packet.
Packet, yeah.
And she sent some updated ones. Oh, limited.
No, that's,
That
That was the
agenda.
agenda.
I read them at home.
I'll move to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Travis?
Aye.
Liza?
Aye.
Marvin?
Aye.
Wayne?
I'll vote aye.
Jean, aye. Review the approved bills. Once again, any bill that you have a question on, let's pull aside, otherwise assign them as I get them.
It's got a pretty good pile.
Yeah.
He's got a big checkbook. The other day, I went to the hardware store. And I didn't have money, credit cards for cash. I had it all the way home to get that. And I carried a checkbook in the vehicle, so it was like the old fashioned way. It was like, how do you feel that you're on?
Just sign it, just sign it.
Exactly.
We'll help you fill it out, bring it over.
I almost had to drive home because I, I got a checkbook, I can do this.
Have fun reviewing that.
Oh, okay.
I remember when I was a kid, I'd be asking my mom for something. She's like, well, I don't have any money. I'm like, well, you got check links. She goes, yes, Travis, but there is, I need to have money in that account.
My kids do that too. You got a card in your wallet, like, that's not how this works, you still have to pay for it.
Or there's always, well, you got money in your wallet. Well, no, I meant the kids. The kids got money in their wallet. Well, I don't wanna spend, I don't wanna spend that on just this candy bar. Oh. No, I didn't get one. Was that $7 a pound or what?
Just about, most of it was, well, you end up, I had 60 pounds of medicine, so then you need 120 pounds of beef and
Mhm.
pork. So now you're at 102. Take that times 5. $800. The average is, well, to do it the way I wanted it.
Mhm.
There was some that was higher, some that was lower.
There was a guy I was talking to one time that was, he's like, yeah, I don't really like the taste of pork, so when I make my sausage or whatever, blah, 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 I'm like, oh, so what do you do, like 60-40 then? He's like, no, 70-30. I'm like, you only use 30% pork? No, 70% pork. I'm like, oh, you don't like the taste of pork, huh?
I always tell people, when you go fry sausages, cut your deer up the way you want it. Get your pork, whatever percentage you think you want. Throw the deer away, you want some damn good fry sausage.
Venison must be one of your favorite meats, huh?
I don't much care for it. I'll eat it, but- No, I've seen some venison.
That was the guy speaking in the car.
Yeah, well, that, you remember that story?
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I'll never forget that.
It's kinda like when the kid goes, what's venison? Oh, deer. Yeah, but what's venison?
Hold out, hold him up, hold him out, and had 60 pounds of beef. Wait till you get 35, you're really doing that.
Yeah.
That was huge years.
don't give you net 30 anymore?
Where are they at for me to pay them?
Must be.
Well, we just put an ad in the paper.
What's this an ad?
Is that for the weekend? Yeah. We're supposed to be out by Monday, or we're supposed to be out by Monday.
Comes from nine loads. 13.
Yeah.
That's like, well, it can't be price of 13 yard.
No,
No.
no. And she had to go through them because
Yeah,
we didn't have any.
yeah. That way she got it anyhow.
Yeah, and then the full loader broke down on her, when she's trying to go bid her out. She had to get that fixed quick. She's been busy.
Page, page 4, just for, it says the person's name.
Typical, huh?
Yeah.
Apparently getting on long term.
Okay.
That's what I assumed is that
Never
they're
mind, proceed with this.
Just sounds bad when you see sweating drops.
Well, not.
Right? You're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Scientific on this.
Ankle bracelet. Ankle bracelet.
We're gonna get a bill from one of the cities for water. Dihydrogen monoxide.
Yet. Don't worry. Nancy's here.
It'll come.
Nancy's here.
Very corrosive.
Yeah, we really, want in the water.
Yeah. Can cause suffocation of,
Oh jeez.
well, water, you can,
Yeah.
drown. It's all in how you present.
Right?
All you guys has to should be just what it says and put the words in it. I was reading this one, I thought it said person.
We're paying for nursing home now too.
Yeah.
Once on the table, always.
Right? Just how it goes.
Now, at least some of our inmates do practice good personal hygiene, huh?
You don't know that.
It's available to them, doesn't mean they use it.
Yes. That's where, that's why I say, we don't know that.
They have the ability.
Yes. It's an option.
It's an assumption.
Well, I'm glad to know that I'll have an option.
Planning an excursion?
It's not on my plans, but you never know.
Well, you get free medical, you get meals, a place to sleep.
Chip on a little
people have
Liza.
decided?
Yep.
I'm looking at this scoria,
Mm-hmm.
that seems really, really economical,
Right?
doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, she did a really nice job getting that.
Holy smokes.
Yep.
Gene wouldn't haul it for that. Nine loads, 15 yards, one size loads. 1,500.
Yeah, Candy did a really nice job of getting that.
Holy smokes.
You mean the road department doesn't do that?
I need some fill sand, maybe I should go talk to her.
There you go.
There you go.
What happens at the landfill?
I gotta come put that out. $15 a yard delivered.
How far?
I'm not sure if he got it from his pile by, where he got it from. There's some over by,
There's some by Beavers over there.
yeah,
no
down by
doubt.
Beavers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, oh, there we go.
This cost is actually part of 6 and 7 landfill. It's the preparation, the engineering. How much was it? How was it? 56.
Is that the one that they were gonna lift it?
Don't think so. Wayne,
Yes, sir.
this interstate engineering bridge project for the bridge by Golden Valley, that's not the one we were gonna lift and put the new beams under, is it?
It's the John Shields area, right? The Golden Valley one, the lift one is south, isn't it?
That's what I
I'm
thought.
sorry, I thought that
Yeah.
was
I didn't wanna assume that.
Yeah, true. Mhm.
This one's north of Gold Valley.
North of Oak.
Yeah, pretty much right on the it's what, A mile or two from the county line?
Yeah, a couple miles from the county line.
What does that one involve?
That one, that Jonathan Shields one involves a replacement of a box.
Just replace,
The engineers requested a replacement of a box culvert for
is that
Shield.
what this is?
Well, it's their, no,
No.
it's their billing for the last month, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
Like the engineering services.
Services,
Right.
there you go.
Yeah.
That's
Thank-
still an upcoming thing.
Yes,
Correct.
yeah,
Oh,
Yep.
that's what I was.
yeah, you bet.
On the road issues, I wrote down Golden Valley Bridge update.
Sure.
Yep.
Well, I don't wanna be bleak here, but,
I guess we should ask all the bridge updates,
Yeah.
yeah,
right? We got 3 of them going, right?
Yes.
Yeah, at
Uh-huh.
least.
Marv, I'm not sure, but I see they've got number 2 diesel. I don't know if they've been getting any blended fuel in or not, but it's getting about the A time,
Well,
Yay time?
yeah,
Well, we talked about yay time then.
yeah.
Get a little 25% blend in there, is what you're saying, or?
Yeah, wouldn't hurt. Well, we're in North Dakota, you just don't know.
Yeah. Do we blend our own, or do we buy it blended?
I don't know how he does it.
I don't run number 1 very often. I add,
Yeah,
put additive in all the time.
yeah. But you just,
When he gets,
you
In
just,
January, I run a little
you
blend.
just wanna make sure that,
Yeah.
if I'm hauling, you're talking.
It's very
below
expensive
zero.
if you don't do it the right way.
yeah,
I have.
no fun being out there trying to get the filter off. And it's usually colder than,
The engine sounds different.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have. I should notice a difference there. It's just like, it seems like I got foot on the floor.
The last I wanna be is standing on the side of the road when the wind's blowing.
Had to pay for all those scans, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, I'm like, why's my name? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
that
Now I
new,
get it.
that new machine.
Yeah,
Well, if you got.
it works sometimes.
If you wanna get your credits, you gotta,
Yeah.
gotta pay. It's just like college.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
So,
Yeah.
I'm an old man, so I says, drive away. Credits won't do me much good no
I was
more.
gonna say, you probably got a lifetime achievement award. with that.
Yeah, right. They probably cashed in on the
That's
life.
for us attending the conference.
Sign that one, huh?
There are partners on that, for sure.
Some partnerships aren't equal.
I didn't mean that in a negative way, I meant
No,
it as
no.
as a kudo, actually.
Right, but I mean, it just, I think some of us have been through partnerships before.
They are a strong asset.
Yeah.
Is that better?
There you go. So is that diesel number 2 plus, would that be with the additive, or
That's probably like Roadmaster.
Roadmaster?
That's like Roadmaster, yeah.
Senex Roadmaster, I suppose, but
Yeah.
this is from, yeah, I would say.
Some more or what?
Let's see what his email
600
was.
gallons.
Pictures.
Number 2,
Thanks, Shannon.
that's not so much.
Let's see where that goes with that century code.
Okay.
This goes with that century code review.
Oh, I probably don't need those pictures then.
And then I just got all these printed a copy, and I see on my watch that he sent me more. Oh, how many of those printed later? Three. Oh, you got 2 of them.
Thank you.
this administrative rule and that century code I gave you on our break this afternoon before Lat comes in, because that's what he'll be discussing under the seats tree replacement.
Okay.
Thank you. So what do we have is, there's taxes we receive on those.
The reimbursement. But I don't think he asked for the tax to be repaid.
Don't stores such as that one have to know that if we go there and we buy stuff under county that is taxed? Did we say it to
Yeah,
him?
he only requested $11.94, and that's just
Thank you.
the price.
But same question.
Well, he should direct bill it, but some of these stores are really hard to get direct billing set up with.
There's a convenience thing that's good too, you know? Shouldn't be supposed to.
Because I don't, and I believe that vendor was very difficult to get direct bill set up with, because remember when Candy last year bought that, zero turn mower? Like, she actually came and got a check from me because they wouldn't do the direct billing. She didn't pay tax or anything on it, because we were local, but it was like a nightmare to get it set up to charge, so we just, we did it.
The turnover is pretty high, so getting someone.
Know how to do it.
I'm not worried about that. I was just asking a question.
Yep.
Now,
That's your question.
and, like Brad or myself, to go in and have a discussion with the vendor, we don't wanna do that. We wanna get our stuff and do our job, right? So,
And it looks like he bought other stuff is probably personal, so he must have just covered the tax on it,
Oh,
you know, and then, cause he had just highlighted the ones that were work.
Found the end.
there's a little fuel this time around.
You look sleepy, Wayne.
Ah,
Exciting stuff you're looking at?
yeah,
Your
your,
bills,
Oh, nice.
your court stuff, your court stuff put a man to sleep.
What's been going on?
Not much.
Good. Blush tree out today.
yeah.
See, puts a person to sleep.
call those advertise and close the courthouse down.
I'm with you,
Okay.
100%. Ready to shut her down right now.
Gene, we just need your approval on the top here, if you're good with
Take the
that.
deal. Get some prisoners.
Oh, he just okayed it, we're
There you
good.
go.
Send
There
the
you
memo.
go. Glad you did.
Putting it down in the notes now?
Yeah.
Send the memo off. Sheriff, the chairman agreed on it.
We're good? Copy at 10.
Right, right,
Have a
o-
good day.
right away uproots everything. Bye.
What do you do, just come in to ruffle the crowd?
Well,
He'll
you-
be back at
you're supposed to,
1:30.
you're supposed to work cattle and he comes in, you hooks them all up real good.
And
go
then
off
seal
there.
They call that a pot stirrer?
Yeah. Kettle burner,
Yeah, well, I gotta go.
yeah. Time to, I got a phone call, yeah.
What's that, Lassie?
Jimmy's in the well?
Yeah. Over in Golden Valley? Well, I gotta go.
Yep.
W and Z, the end of the line there?
Yep.
Then we went through those bills too fast.
You guys have more fun with it.
Just charge them one way.
That's one day. then that-
No, just like mileage for one day.
Yeah.
One way.
Yep.
Are those with Ziegler or-
Yeah, I guess we could've gave you that early.
That it?
I'll move to approve the bills as presented.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Travis?
Aye.
Liza?
Aye.
Wayne?
Aye.
Marvin?
Aye.
Jean, aye.
Oops.
Under other business, October sheriff's fees. Do I have a motion to approve the $6,946.25.
I so move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
It was Travis, right?
No, it was Wayne.
That was
Oh,
Wayne.
Wayne, sorry.
The other Travis.
Yep.
Other Travis.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Marvin?
Aye.
Wayne?
Aye.
Liza?
Aye.
Travis?
Aye.
Jean, aye. Foreclosed property, oh, motion passed, I guess I always forget to say that. Foreclosed properties, go ahead.
Thank you. All right, we had 5 properties on the foreclosure sale yesterday. There was 4 in Beulah and 1 in Zap. We did sell 2 of the parcels in Beulah, so there's 2 vacant lots there. The Ryan Gilbertson parcel for $23,355.98 and the James and Donna Schaefer parcel for $978.95. Did I just say that they were both vacant lots?
Yes.
And then there is the Anthony Johnson in Zap, which is not a vacant lot, it has a little home on it, and it was for sale for $58,420. All 3 of those properties do have specials on them, so the cities get first offer for $1. So today I just need a motion from the board to sell those 3, or to offer those 3 properties back to the cities. And then also to clear the taxes on those 3 properties. We clear all the taxes since Mercer County owns them. We clear the taxes but leave the specials because we're still liable for the specials until the city takes them back.
What were the 2 names of the ones in Beulah?
It's the highlighted ones.
Want those names in part of the motion, I guess.
And then I have 3 county deeds that need to be signed by the chairman of the board. One goes to Keith Morris to pay his in full after the county had taken ownership of it. One to Barry and Carla Morris, and then one to Shea Yeager, who bought the 2 properties in Beulah.
Are you saying they did
And
pay?
if you're gonna make a motion, I would prefer you made it by parcel number, because they're actually not the owners anymore. Mercer County become the owner on October 1st.
Okay, yeah, it should be whatever we can, so we have it, we can go back and
Yeah,
find
the
it
parcel
again.
numbers are the BB numbers that are highlighted.
Oh, that makes it easier yet.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if I can stumble through this. Board members, I'd make a motion that we approve the sale of Beulah property BB one.
Wait.
We wanna
Approve the
offer
sale.
it to the city
Yep.
and prove that we wanna clear the taxes on it.
Read that back so we say, so all I gotta do is put on the parcel numbers, right?
Just give me the three parcel numbers.
We approve parcel numbers for Beulah, BB 14488160413. And BB 14488980105. And for the city of Zap, ZZ 14489040015.
So you move to offer these properties back to their respective cities
Yes.
for $1 per platted parcel
Yes?
and clear the taxes on them.
Yes. And when we get all done writing that down, let's read that motion back.
Yep, that's what I was gonna request.
And
I'll second it.
I'll do it away.
When you're ready, could you read us the motion back, so it's clear?
To remove to offer BB,
Such and such?
yep, BB and ZZ back to the respective cities for $1 per platted parcel. And clear all the taxes on them.
Okay, anybody have any questions on that motion? Hearing none, Marvin?
Aye.
Travis?
Aye.
Liza?
Aye.
Wayne?
How about I?
Gene, aye, motion passed.
Okay, and then I just need you to sign these.
And to clarify, what are these again?
Okay, so on October first, anybody that hasn't paid their 2018 taxes, Mercer County then owns the property. So I have to do a tax deed to the county, and we have ownership. So all of these parcels we had ownership of. But in the meantime, the one in Beulah and the one in Hazen, they came in and then they paid all 3 years plus penalty, interest, and specials. So then they redeemed their property back. So since I've already deeded it to the county, I have to now deed it back to them.
Okay.
So in all of those cases, it was the previous owners of
Yep.
Mercer County.
Yeah, so like if you would try to come in and buy one and pay all 3 years, say my name was on the list, you would just give me my house back, you wouldn't get it. You would have to wait till the sale to purchase
I was
it.
gonna say, because that's why city gets first offer
Yep.
and all that, so.
The city gets first offer only when there's special assessments on the
Oh,
property.
right.
So if there was no special assessments, then it would be,
Then it'd be our responsibility.
yeah.
So that's 3 properties. Did you say there were a couple other properties?
Nope, we just have those 3, and I think that came back on this one, they'll all be offered to Beulah and Zap, because they have specials. And then we just, I believe the only county property we have left are the auction house and the grocery store. I don't think we have anything else in the county. I think we've gotten rid of all of it, otherwise.
Other than the property that you want, or have already had. I mean, like the courthouse, the social service building.
Right.
Yeah,
As for foreclosure properties.
yes.
Okay, December 15th meeting at County Museum.
The museum called yesterday, and they would like the board to do their meeting. We didn't do it last year because of COVID, but, we've done it, I don't know, what do you think, Wayne, the last 5, 6, 7 years? It's been a long time.
Yeah.
They like our company over there. December 1st, I have, the state auditor's office coming in to present the audit, so I didn't feel like December 1st would be a good meeting to hold over there, but the 15th, isn't much on there. So if you guys wanna do that, let me know, and I'll have them set it up.
Doesn't matter to me.
I would prefer that we do it, but that's my opinion.
Well, then I need a motion to move the regular December 15th meeting to the County Museum, which is located in Beulah.
Yep.
I move that we move December 15 meeting for Mercer County to the County Museum in Beulah.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Marvin?
Aye.
Liza?
Aye.
Travis?
Aye.
Wayne?
How about I?
Gene will vote aye. Motion passed. The December regular 15th meeting will be at the County Museum in Beulah.
And I'll publish notice for that too.
Okay?
And, just
And
to-
make sure to mention that it's the regular meeting, not a special meeting, that people wonder why we moved it there. Okay?
Just a FYI, don't drive partway to Stanton and then remember.
I can
I'll
sleep
probably
at night.
show up here and have to turn around, yes.
Good thing you're early.
We'll see, we're early.
Yeah.
I know somebody that did that.
Okay, landfill guidelines.
Yeah, I got a message from Candy indicating that she would like it if we can, put it so that no garbage trucks can come in and deliver garbage to the landfill when there's wind gusts of 40 or more miles per hour. She just doesn't, she can't get the dirt on the garbage quick enough before it's blowing away. And I know that, I think I heard Morton County was doing that.
Yes,
too.
Morton County did.
So
Yeah.
do you just quit your garbage day for that day then? Like the garbage trucks just don't go pick up?
I
Well,
would
they'd probably pick up, but they store it
Right, and say they would just have to deliver it
on
a day when it's not gonna blow away and into everybody else's,
We'll probably,
Well, reschedule or something.
yeah.
So Liza, I got, I agree with you, I totally agree with it. The question is enforcement. Let's just say that a truck shows up and it's 40, what are we going, so we're gonna write this as part of the rules for the landfill?
Right.
How does the public know that that's one of our new rules?
Yeah, we'd have to advertise it or put it
It-
in and make sure that the garbage trucks who bring in stuff would know that we have this new rule in place stating that.
And I
Okay.
think Candy has contact information, so she could send a letter to all those
Right.
trucks that come in,
All
all
those
those
vendors.
entities.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Do we need to let the public know, like myself? Let's just say,
I would say, I think so.
Yeah, I would
put it
think
on
that
the
would be
website
appropriate.
And probably put an ad, like run one ad in the paper.
in the paper,
I would like that.
yep,
Yeah, we could make notice to the public that if there's high winds, that they should call the landfill before they go out there. Especially, that would, it'd make common sense. Call the
If they're in
landfill.
the office,
Yeah, they might be closed. So-
yeah.
She might be out.
I would like to have a notice put in the paper
right,
that,
she said it's more just like the garbage,
The garbage,
you know,
yes.
because it's pretty
Bags,
loose and it'll
yep.
just fly around and then it goes on other people's properties around there and stuff, and Candy's trying to be respectful of that.
so we're gonna put one ad in the paper, put it on the website, and Candy's gonna contact the delivery staff that she's aware of?
Correct.
so that'd be like waste management, Circle K,
Is that,
Yep,
that work
Yeah,
for you, Liza?
yep,
effective date.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
just a question, I
You
mean,
can't,
Yeah.
I mean.
and say,
Yeah, yeah, no,
obviously,
I
it's
mean-
not, you need to make sure that Candy, the letters can get to those entities.
So what date do we wanna put on theirs? 15th of December, it's 30 days?
at the latest.
Or do we
Well,
just
she's
put
gotta
by
I
get
think-
December
She's gotta
first?
get letters out.
I would say
that's what-
December first would be,
Adequate,
yeah, I think so.
because we'd have enough time to get it in the
I'm sure
paper,
she'll send her letter today.
right? That we
Okay.
get through the paper, okay.
And, yeah, I'm sure
You're
you'll,
doing it for the next week's paper.
I'll do it next week's paper and you'll have,
You
I'm
have
sure
until,
you'll.
you have until Monday at noon or so to get it in this coming papers.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, so it'll be in the minutes of this meeting that it was discussed that high winds will be,
I'll have it in
For-
the article.
and
Yeah,
you're saying
so
40 or
people
more?
can, they'll read
That's
it.
what Candy said, 40
Okay.
or more.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, 40 plus.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay,
Well, we should make a motion on that.
Right.
Yeah.
You wanna do it, Liza?
Yeah. So make a motion that the landfill has new guidelines pertaining to 40 mile per hour or more wind gusts, that they will not be accepting garbage trucks
how about just any
or any
loose garbage?
loose garbage,
Okay,
effective December 1st, 2021.
because there's a lot of people like Marvin that'll be hauling garbage out there, and we don't want that either.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
I'll
we
second that.
understand.
Is it just, wait, I
So-
thought it was just garbage trucks. Now it's all loose garbage, so if I pile a
Yes.
pickup truck full,
Oh,
she doesn't want that?
No.
It's
That's
gonna
worse.
blow around just the same as garbage trucks are. She
Yeah.
doesn't, she can't get it covered quick enough, is what it is.
No, it'd be all garbage
it's everybody, yeah.
At least a garbage truck
That's why you talk about informing the public.
Yeah.
So no garbage trucks or loose garbage when the wind is blowing 40 plus miles
Okay, second to that?
I second that.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Liza?
Aye.
Travis?
Aye.
Marvin?
Aye.
Wayne?
How about I?
Gene will vote aye. Motion passed. Oh, gosh, moving right along. Portfolio updates. Well, I don't know what I'm digging out here. I don't have anything to update right now. So. Marvin?
It looked good.
Look good, yeah. I
No,
move.
no portfolio updates.
Travis?
Water Resource Board met, last week. They're just kind of end-of-year type stuff, nothing major going on. They're talking about their ongoing projects. Fair Board had their regular scheduled meeting, last Tuesday. They will be in Aberdeen, I think, this weekend, or this week. I think it was the 18th, 19th. That's their annual, Fair Board Convention. That'll be in Aberdeen, South Dakota, and that's usually when they set up the dates, because they talk to the carnival vendors. So we should have dates to inform everybody after their next meeting in December. And Library Board hasn't met since September, so that's all I got.
Okay. Liza?
Yeah, ambulance isn't until next week, and Shanna had indicated that she's gonna have the auditors come and present on December 1st in regards to our audit. And then, just wanted to let you guys know too that I think Candy's doing a really nice job out there. She even took a truckload of wire and copper down to Bismarck and got a pretty nice check out of that. So I think Candy's doing a really nice job at the landfill.
Okay.
Good.
Wayne?
Well,
Be honest, we were all pretty short with ours.
yeah, okay. The runway has its lights on and anybody can come and go.
I saw that. It looks fabulous. Wow. I went to my sister's the other night. It was dark, and I saw all the lights, and I thought it looked great.
nice and bright, you can see them
Yeah. And now when they get into transfers from SMC, they can use the Hazen Airport again. They don't have to all the way to Beulah, right?
Right, there you go.
That it?
That's what you asked for, right?
Whoa, no, well. Now I feel bad.
I can tell.
It'll go away. It'll go away, Gene.
All right.
Anyhow, the weed board met the other night, but it was snowing and blowing, and this old guy didn't want a flat tire, so I didn't go in. But I think they probably, we're gonna probably purchase some more chemical. Does that sound right, Shanna?
Yep, he called and checked his balance, and I let him know what it was, and yep, it sounded like they were gonna try to get some for next year.
Yeah,
Purchase, yeah, this
to
year.
offset those prices and availability and stuff.
Yes,
and
that's been what I've heard.
Pretty sure that was the bulk of the meeting, so.
Does the weed board address the tumbleweed apocalypse that we have going on in Mercer County?
Well, it's one of them things you gotta wait another day and then they'll blow to Montana next week, so.
It's in progress.
It's in progress. Thanks, Gene, we're done.
Is that it?
Yep.
Okay, we'll recess until 10 o'clock.
I'm going to get this tumbleweed apocalypse.
I don't wanna mention the one that I've heard in Beulah. That doesn't need to go in the paper.
So would it be good now to maybe
I
do
think
a airport story?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll probably, the week of Thanksgiving, I'll be looking for stories, and I've got that whole week, so I'll probably do it. for
Yeah,
that.
that would be a good one. We have a little glitch, the lights, Shanna, don't come on, somebody's gotta go out there manually and put them on at night.
Oh, no.
Yeah, great, the great.
Well, they look nice anyway.
Well, they did, yeah. The great ship didn't quite bring them in. Joyce.
That's an early job.
Yeah,
Yes.
June, that's a late job.
yeah. So, I think the relay came in Monday night, or Monday sometime, so. But
So it should be.
yes,
automatic.
yeah, it should be automatic, but, no. He runs out there and kicks them on at night, and so
Is
that
that
way.
enough? Who does that?
Not Ron, but the boy, Kelly does.
Who would be a contact for him?
Connor Kelly, yeah,
So I'll find out Kelly.
that's his son,
That is his son?
yeah.
And where is he? Is he in Hazen?
Yep, lives right in Hazen, yep. And, so, I got a little kick out of that. He had to drive out every night, kick the lights on, but I think the automatic part is in, it was supposed to be in like Monday, if it came in, so it's, yeah. But yeah, the lights, LD lights are a little brighter and stuff, so it really looks
So
shiny.
you get a flat tire every time you go to the weed board or what?
Oh, it can happen. Luckily, I was talking to Jim, I didn't even catch this deal.
Everyone was saying that too.
Ah, God.
Our, state's attorney was helping us out in his court all the time in the morning.
Yes.
So we gotta have it there so we can have them here.
Yeah, I didn't even look at the time there, I know,
And I've got two things scheduled for this afternoon, like, yeah, the county commission are usually done by 10 or 11. Let's not do it in the morning, just in case,
Yeah.
but we'll do it.
yeah.
And then,
And then
yeah.
you're like,
Well,
wow.
That's kinda like, 6 weeks ago, I made a, appointment at the school at 3:15, so if we're running late this afternoon, we'll be leaving.
Oh, I'm pretty sure we will.
Yeah, I'm like, 1:30, I'm like, 2 tops, right?
Right? I'm like, I have something at my office at 3:50 that I have to be back in Beulah for, so.
Well, I guess the retirees can continue.
Yeah. Or at least I think. I guess I should check.
and it's funny now, I know I'm in the Hazen Lions is all retired people, pretty much, other than me.
Oh, really?
And so it's kind of, yeah, we really need to meet and talk about this upcoming benefit, how about like 2 o'clock on Thursday? Sure, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Is there a phone-in option?
Right?
Why is that? I don't know how you read this attorney stuff all the time.
You get used to it after a while.
It's almost like, reading Shakespeare.
Yeah, I always just look for the points. I'm like, okay, so I need this, this, and this. Okay.
I just underline those italics.
Sounds like this is written by a lawyer.
It is.
Oh, yeah. The other guy will-
For-
Or state's attorney,
to
right?
help have more monies and to get a state's attorney. Yeah, for rural areas. It's a new program that we
Right,
put out for
okay.
multi-programs.
To acquire a state's attorney.
Right,
Then here it says the attorney applicant must agree to live and practice law full-time in the participating community for at least 5 years.
that's what I just circled through that I gotta ask about because we
Yeah.
have election every 4 years, that's not gonna work.
Right. That was
Right.
gonna be my question.
Yeah, that's why I just circled it and I was like, whoa, wait a minute, we
I
can't.
could see
And
up
they
to
need-
4 years.
Right,
Practice
yeah.
law full-time, do they mean be a full-time state's attorney?
Yeah. Which is what we had before,
Yeah,
was
right, I
full-time.
understand that, but I read that, and must agree to live and practice law full-time in the participating community.
Which is what we've had, somewhat, you know,
I'm not reading, okay, I'm not reading into it too much.
right.
Well, cause this does counties and municipalities. So,
What's that?
it does county and municipalities.
So in the
So if you were a
cities
city
and
attorney, you're supposed to live.
within the municipal, yeah, so within the city of Beulah, so
So
it,
this isn't,
it covers both.
specific, all right, gotcha.
Yeah,
But if it's a county, it's
great. But my biggest concern is the 5, because we can't guarantee that.
No.
There's just no way, we can't do that.
We couldn't even, let's say we retire one today, we can't even,
It's part of the program rules for this specific program that they wanna do. It's a rural attorney recruitment program.
even if we hired one today, we can't guarantee that we win the elect, that they would win the election.
Right, that's what
So it could
I,
even be 6 months.
yeah. Well, for us,
Well, by the time, let's say by the time
we
we.
wouldn't be able to take,
It'd be a year.
yeah, it'd be a year.
You didn't get a copy?
Cause you know, I think it's like April, I think, all the stuff has to be turned in. And then the November is the election, and then they would start
Because it says here,
after that.
Okay.
see if you can get a copy.
When I come back,
So do we,
Surprise!
so after recess, do we just reconvene or do we just call it back to order?
We can, or do recess and.
yeah, reconvene.
Now I'm gonna stumble on that word. Just wanna make sure everyone's okay.
Excess.
I don't know. Key completely out of order.
All filled up, all filled up.
Just trying to get you more exercise, you just gotta walk down the hall, come around the corner.
And this is for just a little bit later.
Access denied.
Okay, this is for this. Okay, we'll reconvene. Guess Ken, you're up. And Charlie.
I'm gonna hand these out real quick, so that they got a copy of it. And then I'll explain what we're looking at. You'll probably figure it out.
You better talk slow.
I'll try it like that.
Nobody got two.
Oh.
Eagle eyes over there.
Happens in your mom. People eyes and balloons.
They
Put
still,
that down.
and they still sneak it through.
Ah,
Thanks, Charlie.
You bet. I got bigger maps too, but I figured this is at least something you guys can look at while I'm talking.
Did you notice how he said that when he was down on my side? He says he's got bigger maps, you know?
Yeah, we need that.
Do you have one for Shada that we could put on the slide? Or don't we need to?
I have a, well, unless I gave someone accidentally 2 copies of the North Ave.
How many?
Or Ken, I'll give her Ken can look at my map with me. I'll give her-
I'm not sure it'll work, but it might be helpful.
talk about the north half first.
Well, no, it's just, this is more or less just for discussion purposes. This is a map of all the bridges with the state's GIS database. Now, granted, what's on this map is is dated information. The state has not inspected all of your bridges yet, but, what we see on here is kind of what we already know about some of these. The red dots with the black X's are over the tops of the ones that we're already looking at with projects that we know we have problems with. So you got that, John Shields Bridge up off of County Road 1. And the northwest corner, and then south of Beulah, we got that one down there on, it's Bridge 21-1938, I forget what.
Down there by Unruh's?
Yeah, Sowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, as you'll notice, the one on the south of the crossroads right now is just a yellow dot.
Oh, yeah.
And that is, because this information is technically dated. What I think, I was talking with Mike, internally, Mike Cassaway with Interstate. He said we can update this map completely as they're done, or we can just update it after all the inspections are completed. And he wanted the county's opinion on when or how they wanted to approach that. Doesn't really take much to produce these, but I figure, in my opinion, we just update them as they go,
I would agree.
but
Yeah, cause how long is it till they're done?
But there's, you're
Are they-
asking because there's a bill associated with us, you updating this, I would assume.
yeah, but I don't anticipate it being a lot. I didn't know how, if you wanted us to do it all at once after they're done, because like we said, they they inspect them on a 2-year cycle, so I would have to imagine it's gotta be getting pretty darn close to being completely updated. This is as per InspectX, website or, database that the DOT has for all their inspections. That we go in.
Well, if they're gonna be done, within the next 30 days or 45 days, then otherwise I'd have to agree with Marvin, we'd want it
I think-
sooner, but if they're gonna be done within, by the middle of January, at least we'd know where we stand. But if it's something that's not gonna be done until next June, we need to know where we are right now, so to speak.
I'd venture to guess this is a gut reaction to this. I honestly, I kinda think that they may all be done. I just don't know if the database is updated.
Okay.
If I'm guessing. But I
How
can-
about-
I
how
can
about
touch
this?
base with the state and find that out too.
So we want an update by the end of January.
That'll work.
Yeah.
That would work, yeah. And we'll give you what they have, I guess, for
Yeah.
information.
Yeah, then we'll go from there.
Yep.
It's a question, what's the board feel?
Well, and that's what I mean, that's where I'm at. I would like to have
Right, that's why I said.
something
let's-
by a specific time,
Okay,
Let's go
not-
with that,
not a year from now.
yeah, well, right.
or sometime, yeah.
Or sometime.
And
'Cause,
this has all the bridges identified in the county. I mean, they're all showing whether, even if they're fine, it's just a purple dot, so you know where all your bridges are at. So it's just kind of a handy map to have.
because that will also be, as about the third item on your list here, might be part of this also.
Oh,
Unless it's not
funding?
county roads and bridges, are they separate?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I do know there, all this infrastructure that's coming through, we'll have to also know where we stand.
Well, you know, I guess since you brought that up with House Bill 1505, I guess I printed out a sheet of the allocations that they're providing, state of North Dakota for the county road and bridge allocations. It's basically 75 million with a cap of 3 million on the, I guess, the larger counties, but looks like Mercer's slated to get 1.175 million.
Okay,
And I need to do a little digging to see how this is distributed or what, but, this
And
was
that-
just recently released and circulated internally at our firm, so I figured I'd share that with you guys today. Because, a couple things with that, so you got your county federal aid funds already that we know are out there, the what was it, Ken? 1.2 million roughly, I think. And then you tack this on top of that. We can maybe use this in conjunction with what we're seeing on here to plan for potential issues on bridges or,
Mhm.
and also our road needs that we know we have, that we still, I mean, those never go away, so maybe, I guess my thought is, study it a little bit, put a plan together, if that involves revising our, I guess, our 5-year budget vision that Ken usually would put together with us in the past, then so be it. We'll get that figured out and approach you guys
I was gonna say,
for next
don't you
year's
think
budget.
of next year work to just revise that next year, cause then
Yes.
we'll know how.
Nothing
the
this
rules-
year,
right,
nothing
how the
this
rules
year.
how we can spend it and when we can spend it. and all
right,
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
what's gonna be, I guess we'll have to, that'll be up and coming on, so they give if we're going to be receiving 1.175 million, are there gonna be strings attached?
That's what I'm gonna
Okay.
find out for you, yep.
All right,
I was wondering where the one was.
and now I hear the federal government is
That's what I was trying to.
pass some infrastructure, and I don't know if that's gonna trickle all the way down to counties either, so.
Yeah, so, 75 million will just be sent to the counties, 24 million, and change will be a grant program through the DOT that counties need to apply for. So they will have 24 million available in grant money out there that we can apply for and try to get. The DOT is they'll be setting up rules and an app process for that, so more information, I guess, to come on that whole grant process, and then they went on to let us know the township's got 17 million, and it sounds like, you know, the DOT got most of the money, 200 million of the 317 million, so. And then they got another 135 million for just construction projects, but
Okay,
there's money out there as we're seeing it right now, we just need to, you know, make sure we're, I guess, set up for it, and
Do you guys know off the top of your head, or on your records there, what does Mercer County presently have in state aid? I have a record, this was in February, we had 576,000, but do you know what we have on the books for state aid? It goes up like 230,000 a year.
it was 1.2, it was like 1.2.
Yeah.
Remember when we sat with, Mike Bassingway from Interstate Engineering at NDACO? I don't know if you remember that, Marv. and he
I don't
was-
remember the number though.
It was 1.2 or 1.1 something, and then it was set to be an additional 230,000.
We just
Right,
signed
that's
off on
what
that federal aid sheet too, I have a record of it somewhere.
200,000 is how much we're gonna get again every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the bucket I'm talking, in addition to this 1.175, we got that 1.2,
And we got 81,000 in COVID money too, right?
correct, that we can use within 5 years.
Yep,
Yep,
okay.
yep.
So.
And then the ARPA funds.
Next month, can you give us another update on this 1505, whatever details you've learned that are different than what you presented today?
Yeah, sure can,
Okay,
absolutely. I'm just trying to plow through these things that I brought today, sorry, I apologize if I'm off script.
well, we sidetracked you, so
yeah,
go ahead, start over.
So I also brought in an example of, I think sometime back, when I jumped in here and took over for Eric, and I was visiting with you guys, I know I think in the past Eric mentioned the way Interstate is going about their projects. They're doing the EJCDC, MSA agreements with task orders as contracts as we go forward. So for continuity on our side of the fence, I guess that's what we're pushing just about everywhere with all the clients we work with. I brought a copy of it today, because I know with this bridge project that we have coming up, I'll probably work to put together a task order for it. And what it does is it's beneficial for both sides of the party. It protects you guys, it protects the engineer. So it protects owner and engineer, and then it's a very common used document across the country. It's nothing new. Every attorney knows it. You can let your legal team look at it. They're very aware of what they look like. And then as we go forward with every single project we do, I can circulate this with you guys, but they're called task orders, and it just defines the scope, defines the fee, and it provides a schedule. So it provides accountability on your end that you're holding us accountable that we're meeting the schedule that we put in there, and we're
So
not
it's like the
exceeding.
engineering agreements that we've signed in the past?
They are, but it's different. The agreement that you signed in the past is now this MSA. It's
I believe that's what we signed for Houston.
a master service agreement.
For landfill.
And it's set up for 5 years, but you don't have to do it for 5 years. You're allowed, you can leave the contract anytime. You can certainly let your legal team look at it. I have no issues with that, so. I'll just leave a copy of it here today, and then we'll just try to get it executed maybe by the next meeting or something, unless you have questions.
Okay,
That, and then the last item I had before I let you go, sorry, I had a final pay estimate for the chip seal project. Let's see here. I'll be sending you a copy of it too, Shanna, because I
Like, do you
apologize.
expect it to get paid today? Cause
What-
one's probably in their processing bills right now, I probably should get it to her.
Well, I was just looking for approval on it.
So you don't want the check written today? 'Cause
It
otherwise-
doesn't have to be written today, I just want to get you guys' approval
Okay, cause
on it.
otherwise it won't be written for 2 weeks.
That's fine, that's fine.
Okay,
This, I can let the contractor know that you guys have approved the cost, and then they know it's coming.
okay.
And then I'll get you a copy of an email, because I apologize, forgot to bring it with me today.
Nope, that's fine.
The final pay estimate on this one is in the amount of $273,000, $273,530. Let me figure out the change, because he didn't have the change in here. 104, 553, 58. And
better get the numbers right.
then, yeah, right?
Is that Aztec Corp?
Correct, it'd be Aztec. 2. Oh, it just happens to work out at, it's $273,530 even.
How much have we paid to date? Do you have that information?
Nothing. The budget for this project, I believe, was $290,000.
That was my next question. Good job.
So we finished it at $273,530.
Don't ever do that again.
But yeah, I can get the actual paperwork over, and you can distribute to everyone if you wish
So
to.
you're looking for the board to make a motion to approve this
Correct.
payment to Aztec?
Please, yep,
Okay,
We're sure that that's it though, then, right?
yes.
I move to make the payment to Aztec for $273,530 as paid in full.
have a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, Marvin?
Aye.
Travis?
Aye.
Liza?
Aye.
Wayne?
How about I?
Gene will vote aye, motion passed. Anything else, Charlie?
No,
Wayne had something.
I've got something for Charlie. There's a few portionments of cow trails that are missing on the map here. Like, County Road 7 isn't on there as we see. Over on the southern part of Golden Valley.
That goes through the west side of town, right?
Yep. Yeah, on the way on the west side of,
5 goes through the east side, 7 goes through the west side.
7's on the other.
Not on the map that he,
not on
Not on
our,
ours.
not on our little ones.
oh, Those are, I guess, slightly different. When I give you a big copy too, it'll be even bigger
Oh.
than this.
Oh.
Sorry, yeah, I
Oh.
apologize. That was kind of from informational purposes, I guess, and apparently it's lacking, if, that was straight from the state's website, so.
Well,
So when you get us that in January, you're gonna include all cow trails.
well, it's
Thank
not
you.
Or
exactly.
more precisely, a
it's
more
not
detailed
exactly
map.
cow trail.
It'll be as detailed as this. I should have
Okay.
let you guys look at this one, but.
All right, thank you, Charlie.
Okay, just as long as you have it on the master map. Yeah.
Okay, Ken?
That load pass permitting deal, remember that was when they had came in, gave that discussion on changing our permitting system to that 17 or associated counties, and that was that $1,500 initial payment they need, which they could be, after the first of the year. Rachel contacted her, but then you can start loading our roads into there, actually after today, if we get approved to do that. And then, I think if I remember right, that other one is the end of January, the current one we're using, and then we would just end that one at that date, and start the new one that next day. So I just need approval to be part of that load pass permitting system.
We think we did that.
We did that.
Last time?
I don't think we made a motion to approve it.
Yep.
Yes, we did.
Yep.
I think after you walked out. I think-
You were
Yeah,
wrong.
you walked out.
Okay,
Mark
good.
made the motion as of February 1st, 22, Mercer County adopt load pass program.
Okay, good.
So you're good to go?
Yep.
Sorry,
Like I said,
sorry,
it's
no
a-
one got back to you on that, Ken.
Initial 1,500, and then it's, then after that, it's just based on how many permits we have at 1.5%
Correct.
per
Right.
permit.
With a minimum of 500 a year.
So
When,
you're paying
Right.
1,500
okay.
after January 1.
Yes, yep.
Okay.
She was good with that.
Sorry about that, Ken, that no one updated you.
Okay. And then, next is the private drives. When, we had brought that up before, I was waiting to hear back from Anders on the time about, accessing on private property with, if we were to get in a wreck, or hurt or, damage our equipment on private property. And then deal happened with Anders and never did get back to me, so I talked with Ladd, and Ladd did say that, we should have a hold harmless agreement on
Okay.
private property.
Signed of each,
So that's my next question, it's like, how are we gonna manage that? Cause I'm not gonna have my blade operator go down and chase a landowner, or how do we wanna go about that if we're gonna continue with it, is my question. But I can understand with Ladd, cause if we wreck a piece of equipment or damage something on private property, then we're gonna, then if we have a hold harmless, then we shouldn't have nothing against us, but.
I would suggest everybody calls in if they want you to do their private drive, right? Or they're supposed
Right,
to, that's
yeah,
why
they
you do it.
request it.
And I would say at that time when they call in, I
Right.
would have Rachel send them
They
a
call.
hold harmless
agreement.
and.
And so you can't go on there unless you get it back to
Until
your
you
office.
until it's
in
returned.
their hand, because if you're already past that, cause they wait 3-4 weeks to get it back to you, well,
Then we don't go.
you don't go until the next time you're in that area.
Yep.
do we have a hold harmless agreement?
Yeah,
I
we-
don't have nothing.
You could get one from a neighboring county though, right?
I'm just thinking we get one from Ladd maybe, but.
Because we also covered some of that under that snowplow issue. Because that, the same thing, things are covered, or if you pulled somebody out of the ditch type deal,
Yeah.
yeah,
The snow removal policy.
so,
Well, it's, you pull someone out of the ditch or something, you damage equipment,
Right.
it's similar to that.
or their
Or
requirement.
their
Pull
equipment.
their bumper off or something.
Right,
Ken, no,
so we
go ahead.
We
sorry.
used to carry them right in the machine and had them sign it if that was the situation, so.
How's that working out with them carrying paperwork in the machine for, I'm stuck in the ditch and
Yeah, but
I asked
we've
them
had
to
a
pull me
pretty-
out?
Last
We've
few
had-
winters, we haven't had it too bad, so it's been a few years, but yeah, it's,
But I'd say private drives would be different, you'd wanna
Right.
get
Right.
that on file because they may not be home
right,
to sign anything when you
Right.
get there.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, Shannon.
Just send it out.
Yep, and they have to have it returned before.
Do you want
Shannon would go there.
a motion from the board to require that to do private drives?
Well, I agree, yeah.
I think you should have something.
And then, well, I wanna add to it though with the private drives, another thing that come up is the fact that, do we wanna be doing private drives if they are delinquent on their taxes? Just a question out there, they owe us money and we're gonna go out and give them a service?
That's a good point.
How do you know if they're delinquent on taxes? I'm just curious.
And there's an updated deal, you can, yeah.
Well, I'm not trying to be, I'm just like, wow, that's pretty good, but,
I'm running that one through. I'm thinking,
Yes, you
you-
can
They're
just,
not-
sign the whole harmless, you can call over, I mean, it takes us 2 seconds to find out.
But-
what delinquent.
But they can be delinquent 3 years.
yeah,
We have to still do it, unless
Some
we.
people do not pay their taxes right away, and then
Exactly.
they pay it all, like.
I think that's gonna create more of an issue than what we need to.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it should just be the hold harmless requirement that has to be completed
Yeah.
prior to you guys
exactly.
going out to the property, and then that should be the end of it.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
If they're not paying their taxes, that's a whole
Different issue.
separate
Okay.
issue.
And then, this thing, when you guys signed it last time, that it was dated 10/6/2022, not
Oh.
10/6/2021, but it's already in our road policy declaration, so as far as I'm concerned, we can just get rid of this. It's already in here about doing privates. We
Okay.
Sign at the
Oh.
first part of the year. So.
Does it say the same thing?
Yeah, well, it says right in here, it has residents, number 4, residents of Mercer County may have their private drive bladed twice per year upon their request if the time is available by the county road department. This does not include snow removal.
But our new deal that we wrote up, is we would only do it when we're doing the adjacent road. We won't drive up there special to do that.
They know that.
I don't know if we have to worry about that, in my personal opinion,
Okay,
because we're gonna do it when, I mean, a lot of times if
You
we're,
Do it when you go by
yeah,
anyhow.
well, do it when we
yeah.
go by, or to make it do it if we have a bunch in the area. It's not gonna,
Not a
Well, it's up
concern.
to your discretion anyway.
right.
okay.
But, and I know too, we're gonna make this quick, that it was said that we, 30 years ago, we had 3 motor graders, we actually had 4. Larry Morris has been here for 32 years, and Ed Shopper, who was part-time for us, has actually been here, if he would be still working for the county full-time, he's been almost 40 years. He said there was 3 blades and 1 rolling blade, so that's 4 blades. And the blade operators worked 50 to 60 hours a week from springtime until freeze up. And that 170 miles less we have now, I would like to know, I looked at the township road certification miles. I mean, we've had some, like Ed Chopper said, we've had, I think Hazen Bay, County 27, Coyote Creek Road, that's 4.5 miles, but I don't know where the 170 miles came up with, that we have less. I don't know where that came from, but we do not have 170 miles less. In fact, up by Tilly Siler's, up by Coyote, we got, or by, Coteau, we got that back. And the only thing we've lost on Coyote Creek was that one stretch west of Casey Voight's so far. And we've gotten stuff up around Harmony Lake back too, so I don't know where we're coming up with 170 miles less, but I just wanted to make sure that's addressed. But we will still continue privates, and we'll do that with that whole harmless. We'll have to come up with some kind of, and then have
Okay.
Rachel email it to them or whatever, and have a signature. That way then we have it on record.
I want
Okay.
to talk about that old harmless just for a second. Do you want to contact some neighboring superintendents, or would you like me to do that? How
No,
are
I
we,
can do
how are we gonna get copies?
I can see what's around there. I know there's quite a few that don't even do it. I know Star County doesn't,
Well,
Dunn County doesn't.
I'm just saying, if you want to do it, that's fine.
Right. I can find out.
I would just do it
Yep.
yourself and put something together on your Mercer County letterhead, and then
Okay.
just have Lad quick cruise over it, and then as long as he's good with it, I think,
Okay.
you know,
Mhm.
the board's giving you the go-ahead to do it, and then
Okay.
just make sure legal approves of it,
Cause,
because he'll have to defend it, I mean,
Right.
it's not the board that defends it.
'cause we should be protecting both the property owner and Mercer County. And things do happen, so, not intentionally, but it can you just be a good way to do things.
Right, that,
It's a good practice to have.
Yeah,
whatever language you use, that harmless agreement, that also covers us, right?
right.
Right.
Saying that if we inadvertently, something happened, that they can't come after us and say, we gotta build them a whole new road.
Right,
Okay,
yeah.
Cut the culvert off or something.
And then, discussion on federal funding.
I think we'll wait till he brings his agreements in, and then we can put that as part of the motion,
Yeah, I
right?
think so too.
the final, yeah, when you get it, yep,
We're
okay.
probably not gonna have many coming up here now anyways. The roads are gonna be frozen, so.
Yeah.
Right.
And we don't do snow removal on them, so.
If that's all right with the board.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
agree.
The discussion about the federal funding on county roads. Down south on County 13, Shannon, you wanna put these up here? this is looking right north of, the Knife River. Off to the west is Kasanke, off to the right is, Reich's property, and then you go to the north is, get into Zap there, but Wayne had brought up about the scoria on the side of the road, and you can see it on this picture right here, up in this area right here, there's about a foot of scoria dust that's there. That's what was on that road, and when we do fix soft spots, we'll put scoria in for a bed, and so that firms up, unless we have to dig them out. I prefer not to dig them up, because then you have a big hole, and you have to fill it back in, and so we try to put scoria there, and it does work to solve that base up. But try to get the gravel back on there as soon as we can, but I had asked Brian Fuchs, with DOT about, are we in jeopardy of losing federal funding? And he said, no, we are not. He said, in fact, there's roads out west that use scoria on their roads, on their federal aid roads, and they do not lose federal funding. So I just want to put that out there. And you can see it, it's kind of a bad picture, but there's a little bit of that scoria dust on that side there, on the inslope there up on the road base. So, and like I say, if we have a wet, or we have a lot of soft spots, we're gonna have chunks of scoria there. And like I say, we try to cover that up, but until that firms up, it doesn't, otherwise that gravel's just gonna keep pushing along, pushing down, and that $7 and some cents a yard of gravel, that's our cost. It doesn't pay until that firms up, and then
Okay.
we'll try to cover that up. But like I say, we're not in jeopardy of losing federal funding, because
Okay.
that road is being maintained, is what Brian Fuchs said.
Okay, so the concern was using scoria and losing federal funding.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
Right.
and we
Yeah,
won't if we
won't.
use scoria.
No,
Okay,
we're maintaining that road to the
Okay.
best of our ability, so.
Well, maybe Mr. Fuchs is gonna want to drive his Scorio Road on his $150 tire and let it chop up his tires. But there was a day that was in the verbiage. And I think it's pretty sad that we'd have to have scorial on our federal aid road. I mean, I understand for a patch job, but for the public to drive across, and I've had a call down on 13 that it cut his 3/4 ton tire up the sidewall. Well, things do happen, but if we can prevent that from happening, I would be in favor of that too, so.
Well, we try, but like I say,
Yeah.
we ain't gonna lose federal funding for trying to,
Yeah,
you know,
Well,
as soon as that
that's-
firms up, we get material on it, so.
okay.
Next thing is update the fuel system card reader, at the Beulah shop. We got a quote from Hobbs. The equipment is $10,537, and then the installation is $2,200, so $12,737. We just filled up the fuel and we still have 73,000 left. And, so is to get approval so that we could purchase it this year. And what it is if the card reader system, the sheriff's department, the weed board, all of our vehicles have a card. It's like a card troll deal. And the reader at the shop, or the pump thing, is so outdated. Hobbs has come up there, and it's outdated. It doesn't, and in fact, when it starts getting at 0 degrees, the display, you can't even read it. So if you don't go through it step by step, you ain't getting fuel. So, I figured we have money in our fuel deal. That's where we always take it out for that. If we can get approval to purchase that card system and update it.
I don't think that your fuel line item is where you should be taking it out of your budget.
That's more equipment, isn't
I would say equipment, and then the 2,200 for installation would probably be under labor, don't you think? I mean, I know you don't have money in those, and you have extra money in your fuel, but that's not where we wanna go with it.
That's not
Right.
fuel.
It shouldn't be
bill.
under,
Right.
the
It's part of
installation
fuel.
will be under contracted services, not underneath their labor.
okay, we'll have to table this for now,
Yep,
Oh, yeah.
for a few minutes.
till we do bid letting.
We got bid lettings. Sorry, Ken, I
That's right.
fully respect but I've been told we have to follow. On bid letting, we gotta do it when the time is, it's posted at 10:30 and it's 10:30.
No, not to recess, just to close bids. 10:30.
Yep.
10:31.
We need a motion to what?
it? To close the bids.
Yeah.
I'll
I need a
move that we close the bids.
I'll second that.
Okay, right here. Travis, Marvin. Okay. Travis,
Aye.
how do you vote? Marvin?
Aye.
Eliza?
Aye.
Wayne?
I'm all right.
Jean, aye. Motion passed. Bid letting has been closed.
Thank you.
Oh, I got two of them again.
There you go, sir.
There we go.
Not gonna have that many bids out.
Thank you.
Oh, you were optimistic.
I was.
Gee.
I have three, and nobody else has anything else? Did you get any, Sherwin?
No.
Okay, I'm not qualified to read a bid bond, but our state's attorney will be in at 1:30 to review, just to make sure those are good to go.
Basically, you'll read them, but we can't approve anything until that is here.
Until then.
Yep.
Okay.
Got a dull knife?
You got a dull knife?
No, you wanna come sit by me and let me use yours? I got a finger.
She's got good fingers. Good.
Okay, the first one is from Wagner Construction out of International Falls, Minnesota.
No. Gives me time to write it down too.
Okay.
Allegedly.
You can't read this.
That's in Wolf Cryptic.
Yeah, this is, yeah. Klingon.
Okay, I might need your help. What am I looking at here? This is the,
Can I?
yeah, come on up.
He's got a sharp jackknife.
No, we'd have a base bid and then there's an
So we
additive.
start with the base bid,
Yeah.
and then the alternate additive, and then
Right.
separate water. Okay, so the base bid is $177,009.80. That's 177,009.80.
Mhm.
And then there's, number two is the alternate additive bid schedule for cell 6 and 7. And the total for that is $307,388.20. $307,388.20. And then there was, bid, item 3 was separate bid for water obtained from the off-site source, and that was $12,000. Is that it? Is there anything else I need to? Do you know how to read that?
6 and 7, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's both of them together. Yep.
So that one's good? Okay, just have Vlad review it when it comes in. All right, the second one that we received is from Baranco Brothers out of Dickinson. Baranco. Sorry, this is usually the state's attorney's job.
Yes, we know, we know.
They do have their bid bond enclosed, so.
And just let anyone out there know, if you don't know, we currently do not have a full-time state's attorney. So we have the McLean County State's Attorney, and he can't be here until this afternoon.
Okay, so Baranco's base bid is $123,269.78. That's $123,269.78. $1,000,000,078. For cells 6 and 7. Well, shouldn't it be more? I would say another additional 100, right? So it would, who's from Baroque?
This is 190.
Oh, that's a 9, okay, sorry. Okay, number 2, 190,625.54. That's 190,625.54.
That's for 6 and 7?
Yep, and then to obtain water from off-site source is 16,810. 16,810. And then the third one is from Northern Improvement out of Bismarck. The bond is in there. All right.
Could happen pretty easy.
Base bid is 123,985.70. 123,985.70. Cell 6 and 7, 168,747.40. 168,747.40. And then the water from offsite source is $19,000. $19,000. And that is it. Unless, can I see yours?
You can read that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I got a couple lefties in my family and they all have yesterday, so. Which one or?
The parent low, the base bid, these were all for others.
123,269.78.
Yeah, for the base bid, for
Yeah.
cell 6 and 7, it's
That's the
another
parent
improvement.
low, and then parent low on the combined alternate bid was Northern Improvement at 168,747.
So if you wanna do both of them, you gotta add 2 and 3 together. If you're gonna do cell 6 and 7 and then the water.
alternate is the combined, so that's what
Okay, but then what's the offsite water?
the waters, that was a unit price, so that if there wasn't enough water on site, stormwater management would have to go off-site. Done 2 separate bids, 2 separate unit quantities, so that's.
So the bid on the water is regardless, is additive to either one?
If they have to.
If
they
required.
want From off-site,
Correct.
So that's a possibility.
yeah, depending on
Okay.
the amount of rainfall and snow we do.
Mhm.
So how do you wanna do this? You wanna table this until later in the day, or do you wanna, cause you're gonna have to review the bids.
We typically, we review the bids, review all the math and everything, and then come back with a recommendation to the commission as to how to award, and it's up to the commission at that point.
Yes, you're gonna review the bids, does,
Typically, we review the bids, and then it'll be the next
Meeting, yeah,
commission meeting.
just like the roads.
okay.
That's typically.
That was gonna be my
Sometimes
question. You
we'll
need
have
more
a
than
meeting.
10 minutes. You're gonna need a few days.
Yeah, because you go through the other documents that are
Okay,
Typically want to review those as well, make sure that everything is there.
okay.
Do you review that with our state's attorney, or do you, with some type of legalese, or how do you generally?
Well, the state's attorney typically would
It's
review
gonna-
the bond.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
gonna, re-
And then us with North Dakota DOQ would review the documents that they require for the claim under SRF.
Okay,
So not to do that. We check for that.
okay, So-
Can you refresh our memory, like, I don't know if you do that in a public meeting, I can't remember, of the engineer's estimate? Do you have those with you?
So the engineer estimate for the base bid was $115,000. And the engineer estimate for the alternate bid was $182,000.
and the engineer estimate didn't include possible need for water?
We didn't do an estimate of for the offsite.
Okay. Okay,
Just need a motion, I think, then the table.
Yes.
Table it until next meeting.
Yeah.
Sure, when to review it.
so if, for Northern Improvement, Bronco Brothers and Wagner Construction, we won't have an answer for you until the next meeting, if
Yeah.
they're all here. So sorry about that, if you're expecting something today.
I have it in my 10:30 slot, I'll just
But
fill it.
we know where the bids are, so,
Mr. Chairman, I move that we, having reviewed the estimates, or the bids, that we table the decision on this until, what is the date of our next meeting?
December 1st.
December first,
December 1st.
pending review of our, state's attorney and, can't think of his name.
Engineer,
Engineer.
Sherwin?
Sherwin, the engineering firm. I
What
should,
time?
shouldn't say Sherwin, should say his firm.
I don't know. I have the state auditor office coming in at 10:30, but I'm not sure if Cindy has anything at 9:30. So it'll either be 9:30 or 11. You guys can set it.
A deal with the state might take more than 30, might only take 30, yeah.
Can we move
I would
the time
say,
over? Do we have to set a time? I think we can just say December 1st, maybe.
Well, I didn't know if any of these
Oh, are you guys
wanted to
gonna
come
come back
back.
for the award on the 1st?
I suppose.
I guess that's up to you, do you need us to come back to that?
No,
You wanna make phone calls and notify everyone?
I think that, yeah, I think,
Is that normal, or, I'm not sure.
yeah. I'm not sure.
We could do that, otherwise we have to set a specific time.
Or I can just get your emails and, email you the agenda so you're aware of the time once it's done.
Yeah, that would work too. If we do have a specific time, she'll email it to you. Are you okay with that? I don't know how many are represented here.
The phone call would be sufficient.
Okay.
Okay,
Do you wanna just write your phone number down on that sign-in sheet next to your name? And then I'll have it.
and who you,
Posted on the west side too.
yeah.
So did you finish your motion, Mark?
we'll let Shannon
Wow,
read it
what a
back to
motion.
us. Gene added a,
A whole bunch of verbiage.
so let's,
To table the decision until December 1st, pending review by the state's attorney and engineer.
thank you.
Okay,
I'll second that.
any further discussion? Oof. Where was I at here? I'm gonna get this. Oh, I have, yeah, Marvin and Travis, I got it, Travis and Marvin, so Marvin and Travis. Marvin made the motion, Travis seconded. Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none. Marvin?
Aye.
Travis?
Aye.
Liza?
Aye.
Wayne?
Yep.
Gene,
Aye.
aye. Motion passed. Okay, we'll let you know. Either way, Shannon will get a hold of you and let you know.
Thank you guys
I should
for
say,
coming
Shannon will
today.
keep you updated.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have to share this. I didn't make enough copies. It's yours, you can take it with you. Road levy report?
Okay. Where are we at here? We were here.
Well, and that's, I just did
I would
the
think that you'd
alternative.
have two contractors, one come in.
No, I think we have to decide.
Okay.
That's what,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Well, that's it on our agenda.
We gotta bring Ken back up.
I have-
Oh,
I added that-
sorry.
I added that this morning in our
Yep,
agenda.
okay. Ken,
Okay, you can have, just take the time.
oh, do we, yeah, we didn't, do we have to, don't we have to end our bid letting process here?
All we did was motion to close
Because we-
acceptance of
Bids.
bids.
Yes, okay, correct, sorry. Well, don't wanna,
Don't wanna screw it up, I understand.
Don't worry, Travis,
don't wanna get my finger slapped. Okay,
card reader,
Card reader.
sorry about that interruption, Ken.
It's all right.
read your
So I guess we
cards.
just need to figure out
Which,
which
yeah.
line item we wanna take it out
Yeah,
of.
but refresh my memory. What's the cost?
The equipment's 10,537 even, and the installation for them to come up and install it is 2,200 even, so it's 12,737 even.
737.
Well, I'll ask, probably a dumb question, why would we have to determine what line item he takes it out of?
Because you just stated you wanna take it out of his fuel line item, that's where you pay for fuel out of.
That's what you
No, we don't. We want it,
Equipment,
in my opinion, it should all be,
Come out of equipment.
I agree, 100%.
I do too.
I do too,
Okay,
and if we run a
Like I
rule,
said, it
just
doesn't
amend
matter,
it.
I mean, the board's giving you the blessing to go over on that one.
It's okay that you're
Yeah.
over, Ken.
And you're not gonna go over your total budget, are you?
No.
Okay.
and that would be
I
the,
wouldn't go under fuel.
part of my concern is just the total budget. I mean, line items you might go over
Take
on,
it
but
out of the equipment
anyway,
line.
it's a decision of the rest of the commission, so.
So, but we need to make a motion?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
so I need a motion on
I move
updating
to-
the fuel system and where to,
No, we don't
The
need to
card
say
reader.
okay,
I move that we approve the purchase and installation of a card reader for the road department as presented.
In those dollar amounts.
Dollar amount of 10,537 for equipment and 2,200 for installation.
So, Shannon, do you wanna take it out of that 652, lease and purchase of equipment, or what are you thinking? Or building maintenance?
just,
441?
just one second.
Yeah.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, now,
I don't even have it all written down. Approve the purchase of a card reader for the fuel
Actually,
system.
once we have a motion to
Could be under,
At the
that
Beulah
doesn't
shop,
have
I think
discussion,
we
I know,
should put-
that's a lot of
could be
people.
under the building maintenance, cause it is.
Oh,
maintenance.
well, that's fine, I like to have the motion and then a second, and then we have discussion.
I don't know. We'll find out where he's
I'll
going.
see what Shannon says.
Okay,
Cause 652 is lease / purchase of equipment, and 441 is building maintenance. Or do you want it?
I wouldn't say that this is building maintenance.
No, I don't
no. I would just take it out of 652.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Marvin,
Aye.
Travis,
Aye.
Liza,
Aye.
Wayne,
How about I?
Gene will vote aye, motion passed.
Who seconded that?
Travis.
Travis did.
Okay,
Just hasn't here yet.
okay, your road levy report, okay.
Okay.
Okay, I've got a report that I gave you guys, and this is just information. We'll put something on the agenda going down the road. I'm just showing you on this here is that our reserves for our road department are falling. We don't have very much left when we get to 2023. These numbers were taken right off of our budget that we just got done preparing. And I'm pretty sure I didn't make a mistake, but I can make mistakes. So anyway, I'm just letting you guys know our reserve is falling. If the second block says that if we have the same budget for 2023 as we do for 2022, which we won't, but, and we put $1 million in there for reserve because we're gonna use all of our reserve up, we used to have 1.5 million. We would need 3.9 million in taxes. And we won't have enough levy ability to reach that. That's what it shows us. The most we can levy is 43 mils at the present time. So this is just information. We'll bring this up for discussion. Hopefully in the next meeting, I'm gonna ask Shannon to put budget discussion on the next agenda. So that's for your information. Now I have a little bit more information regarding this. And we have three county taxes. Levy 1204 is for county road and bridge, and that's a maximum of 10 mills. We can get an additional 30 mills on that, but that county road and bridge is only good through the end of 2024. Okay? And then we have unorganized road, and that's 18 mills. That's levy 1259. That's 18 mills. And then we have aid to secondary roads, which is levy 1212, and that's 15. I forgot to write a note on this. I think, is there only one that's going to be updated or outdated at the end of 2024?
Secondary roads, and that's it.
Okay, so we just got to be aware that we have to,
And then by majority vote of the county to increase the county road levy from 10 to 20. And it's only that second amount of 10 that need the voter approval, and then you can, then the board has the authority to do the additional.
okay,
So you
let
can
me,
do a total of 30 for 1204, but the middle 10 has to be.
Has to be approved by the
but,
voters.
By the
let me
correct?
ask Shannon a question regarding that. If that goes away at the end of 2024, I don't think
That
we can.
doesn't go away, that's 1204. Aid to secondary, the farmer market, 1212 goes away in 24.
1204, just a second here, please, I got that with me. Nope, it's 1204. I'll let Shanna read this. I've got the levy deals here with me with the roads. County road and bridge, it's for 10 years.
Yeah, then it has to go back for voter approval every 10 years.
Okay, that's,
That's the one where you can add, if the
Okay.
voters
All right,
approve the
so
10,
anyhow.
then we can add another 10 after that.
Yep, yep.
all right, so anyhow, that's just information that we'll discuss more possibly at a later date. But I want you guys aware that we are using up our reserves in our road funds, and we're gonna have to make that up someplace. And then the other part was if we have to take it to the voters, we gotta remember to put it on the ballot. That's all I had on that.
Okay. We will,
Ken has something.
I was gonna,
oh, you got,
yeah, I seen it made the paper last time, we had a question about that.
The front page even.
Yeah, front page creeper.
Oh,
Here's a $416 creeper. Okay? It's not your standard one that you lay on your back, it's one that you can actually go up inside the vehicle. And in fact, that's a pickup truck, but the one we got can actually go inside the top of our end dump trucks or semis. That way they can work on from their belly instead of climb up on the tire like I had said and possibly slip, and it's a lot easier on their back too. To work over the top of it instead of trying to crawl up on there, so.
now that I see it, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, in my head, I just envisioned the one that you roll underneath, and I'm like,
Yeah,
why is it
no.
costing us that much money?
Those are usually about $100 at the most, give or take, but that's what that is.
I appreciate you bringing in the pictures of it.
We're back at 1:30.
okay, anything else? I guess we'll, basically recess until 1:30, right? Is that the proper? Okay,
And we're supposed to read all this.
yep, I already read it. I read it once, I might have to read it a second time.
Yeah. Takes a couple passes.
So if you want to read,
Well, I would assume Peter.
Here's the,
I didn't know if it was-
here's Flemmer's place over here. What are we talking about here? Just talking about this one.
No, because they have a picture of it that Dean will be bringing in, that's actually in there. It goes north-south.
Cause here's the road going to the plant over here. So is this the road going into their house?
No,
Where's the plant? This way, this way.
it's easier to show him. Let me go see if I can get that map quick.
Oh, maybe he's in the States.
I'm trying to remember. I think it's east.
Is that where you're going?
Yeah, it's over here and it goes
Yeah,
north.
yeah.
I think I know where it's at now. The road was put in, it's not on the section line, right?
Right, yep,
Because of the terrain.
yes, yes. And, yep,
Hi.
many
I didn't get all
years
the pictures printed.
ago.
Is
I
that
have
what
some
you
teams
want? So,
here.
oh, yeah, that's fine. Did you
Yeah,
bring
I have them all
pictures of
signed.
it too? Well, I got 12 of them printed. I
Huh?
don't know. First three sets. You sent me. Yep. I don't have any way of cutting it, just show it, yeah. No, but I.
Who's-
Or,
who's that?
if that works.
Itch my back. Get old, you get dry skin. Start itching all over. Readjusting it?
I am, she's too short.
We're recording?
But a whole bunch of stuff that I'm not really interested in.
Be nice. No? As long as we got someone to
God bless, he's got another.
take notes.
She cleaned up yesterday. Did she?
You know, you also have to keep changing lines. You also have to keep changing lines.
Yeah, Benny's got a Veterans Day program, so. I'll head over to you.
Yeah, okay.
There's a lad. Okay, see you guys.
That's lad.
Yeah, lad,
Okay.
you don't need me in here, do you? Alice is here to take minutes.
Okay.
Good?
Welcome to Mercer County, lad. Come over.
No, you didn't blow over
I
here.
think you fought the way.
The squirrel so we could get here.
We go by that clock on the wall, so at 1:30, we'll reconvene, just to let you know. We get pretty official with that. Right on the mark usually.
There's a different one for
Okay. Well, yeah, I know. Well, we gotta be political.
Right.
Oh, no.
So which one's first?
Shannon, we have Princeton. Alice.
There's a place for them up in Princeton.
Yeah.
It's easier to spell.
Just Cal Grant. And Brad Erickson. Okay, 1:30, we'll reconvene our regular commission meeting. Currently, we have Lad Erickson, he's our temporary state's attorney, I don't know how else to say it. And our auditor, she had to leave, so Alice Grinsteiner, who works in her office, will be taking notes for the rest of the meeting. I guess, first on the agenda is the Ziegler-Kitzman encroachment issue. Where are we? Where's, on that?
Cindy, you might want to come up to the table in case we want to ask you some questions. We got some pictures here. I think they're from you. If you would, please.
Ken have some?
I really don't know where we're at on that yet. We had went out and looked at it or whatever, and I don't know where we're at on it, to tell you the truth, to say how long that we should give to clean it up, or is it even, now it's been brought to my attention that they're threatening with lawyers that dirt doesn't count as an encroachment, or,
Well, I'm,
Lad, I'd like to bring you up to speed on this here a little bit. There's two neighbors that are having a borderline dispute, okay? And one of them is piling dirt right up against the border of the neighbor to the south of him. And when his dirt is bermed up so high, it's rolling across the boundary line between the two. And as I understand it, there's a 10-foot easement.
there is a 10-foot easement, but, we had just been out there the one day taking pictures and stuff like that, and I haven't, gotten hold of the water board yet. Is there a watershed issue? I mean, there's all kinds of issues that there could be about it, and I had contacted Lad before about how long a person should give them to move it back to the 10-foot setback, but
If we can, yeah. So as long as,
then I was going on vacation, so
as long as Lad's here, we'll try to bring you up to speed as best we can, and we're just probably gonna have to wait until we get a little more information. There are some pictures here, they look like these from Cindy. This has to do with adjoining the Hazen Bay Road. And originally what was going on there is, he piled up it appeared Mr. Ziegler was piling up dirt so close that he was encroaching on the right-of-way and using that in order to get access, to have an approach to get onto his land right at that corner. Okay? And Ken and and I'm not sure if you were up there that first time.
No, those aren't my pictures.
These aren't yours?
Those are Ken's.
No, it must be from Ken then. I didn't know that.
no, whose pictures are these?
The approach ones are not my pictures.
Okay. Are these from you? Ken, are these from you? Did you send some pictures in?
I didn't say, I think Mark
Are
did.
These here?
Mark, these from you, Mark?
I can tell there was quite a few, I sent about 16.
Okay.
I documented this through the beginning to the end with pictures. So I have a full set of pictures from the beginning to the end to show the commission and the public what exactly went on.
Yeah, we got a set of 12. Okay,
You got 12, but you didn't get them all printed out. It was
that's fine.
in the first,
Okay.
I guess, doesn't really matter where they came from, but,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So anyhow, we had an encroachment, it appeared to be an encroachment on the right of way. And then he was ordered, as I recall, he was ordered to remove the dirt and put it back to the original state. I'm not sure that he did that. I don't recall all the details, or if, Ken, did you go up and do it?
you went up there.
Ken, please come up to the podium. I'm gonna let Ken give his rendition. He's probably more detailed on it than I am.
I don't know the exact dates, but we went, when Jessica was here, he was instructed to move, and it was by the commissioners that he was supposed to, what he did is he widened the approach. He was told he could put an approach if he got a permit in the middle of that to the, where that existing approach is, where him and Kitson go into that deal to get it to their properties. He widened that approach without the proper authorization to do so. He was told by the commissioners, and it was voted on, to remove that approach. He did not do it, or he widened it, to remove what he had widened. And then we went up there, I don't know the exact date, and we removed it. And the total bill came to $4,640 to remove that approach. And that extended what he extended. So that was what occurred in the right-of-way as far as the Mercer County Shop or the Highway Department goes. And we have not, to this date, that was, it was a year ago in September, we did that in 2020, and we did not get a payment for that. So then the commissioners met again, last month or whatever, a month ago, month and a half ago, and they put it on their his taxes.
Yeah, he was sent a letter
Yes.
and it
Yep.
included that it would be assessed to his taxes if he didn't pay it on a certain
Within
date.
30 days of that,
Yep.
when Anders sent that out.
Correct.
Yep.
And that's where we currently are, and we currently stand at that.
And then the other
the-
issue is with, on the sides of the property with, where you had piled dirt up with, Mr. Schwer was talking about.
That's where we are as far as the right of way.
Okay.
Now, there's been another statement by the neighbor that he's piling dirt up on the north side and a little bit on the east side of his lot. And he's piling the dirt up so high that the dirt is rolling into his neighbors across the boundary. And we have some pictures of that, but they're not real good. So that,
Who's the neighbor? That was Kitson.
Dave
Kitson.
yes.
Okay,
So we have
Is-
one.
but is that a county issue, that if I pile up dirt and it goes onto my neighbor's lot, wouldn't that be between me and my neighbor?
Well, it's there are setbacks, there's a 10-foot setback that he's not, it's my issue as a planning and zoning administrator, if they're not following the setback, then it's a complaint that comes to me, and I have to investigate.
A setback off the county right-of-way,
Our ordinance.
off the county right-of-way,
Or off the boundaries.
Off the boundaries.
off the property boundary? Okay.
So we have two issues, basically?
Yes,
Correct.
The first one is an issue, you've already put it on his taxes, right?
yes.
Yes.
Right.
The-
Then you see one that wanted on the agenda to talk about that?
I believe so. Is that right, Mr. Ziegler?
He's here.
You wanted this on the agenda?
I absolutely wanted to bring evidence in here for what some of these statements are, because they're false.
I'm not even done
Okay.
investigating my part.
Well, if you'd want to make any statement, you approach the speaker there and tell us what your objections would be.
Go speak right up.
If you could go right by the microphone and
May
pull
I
it down.
have a copy of the pictures there, so that I
Sure.
may- Can you put those pictures up on the screen, so we
Okay,
can view them?
Mr. Kitson,
No, I'm not.
No, that's,
or I'm Mr. Ziegler, I'm sorry, apologize.
Can I ask her, can you put these?
She's got another,
She's doing it right now.
yeah, we all have a copy, so she can put them on there.
Oh, good. Here we are at,
Mr. Ziegler, I have to make a request, please.
Yes.
excuse me?
Pull the mic down so that we can hear you. It's very, very hard for us to hear this because this is
Okay,
recorded.
how's
Thank
that
you.
now?
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, sure. What we've got here is a picture of, we've got all the proof in letters between requests, and I started the request to the Highway Department, Road Department in Mercer County in 2019. When I started this request, right there at the end of that 20-foot culvert, where the dirt's being, that's where we started, that's a 20-foot culvert. You see the 10-foot section in the middle? So the part that we've got a little bit of dirt over, that is where we butted into the county approach culvert. This county approach culvert had, right at the culvert, there was trees growing out of the culvert. I didn't get I sent her the pictures, but she didn't get them printed out. This was 2019. I contacted Mr. Miller. I said, these trees growing out of that culvert, there's a group of them. There was probably 10 trees, trunks, coming out of there. And they were about 30 feet tall. And as you can see, you don't see it in this picture, but right there is the blacktop. So those trees, they completely blocked the school bus. Anybody else that drove in there, the FedEx truck, you can just go down the list. When you come out to that Hazen Bay Road and look down to the north, all you seen was trees. So I requested Ken Miller, and this is 2019. I requested him to come up, take a look at those trees. I wanted to pull them out. Ken Miller put me off. 2 months later, I found out that Ken Miller, from a neighbor, name is Mary and Danny Hillerud, I had sold him a lot in Lake Valley Estate subdivision, which is just down the street, probably 500 yards, 600 yards. Mary told me Ken Miller's coming up to look at some drainage issue or off the county road, and they want to do some landscaping into the county setback. So I said, Mary, I'm going to be there too, because I've been asking Ken Miller to come up here for 2 months to look at these trees that are blocking the school bus drive. And I'm going to be over there too. Mary said, sure, come on. So Ken come up on the date that he told Mary he was going to be there. I went over there. At that time, I have a Lake Valley Estates subdivision that I created in the year 2000. And at that time, I give Ken Miller a map of the county subdivision. County road ends directly into the subdivision. That's the end of the county road. The county road ends with its easement 44 feet into, this is on the final plat of the county subdivision. Nobody can deny it or miss it. The end of the county road on the north side of the county, the easement goes 30 feet from the center line, 60 feet from the center line each way. That was the easement they took when they went around the section line into Hazen Bay, and then it met another section line running in. So this is a section line, what I'm referring to.
Let me interrupt you for a second. I can't follow any of this.
Okay.
And so the issue to me is you were told to get some stuff out of the ditch. I've got some letters here from the state's attorney that sent you that we're gonna do this ourselves. You wanted on the agenda after the commission to put the dollars on your taxes. Right? So that to me is the only issue. I can't litigate out whose road is what is what. Question.
I understand.
Limited question here for you. You've got $4,600 put on your taxes, and you want to contest that now or something?
Yes, of course I do, but I also want to,
Nobody can relitigate 3 years of stuff here in this meeting. All they want to know is did you get notice that you had to move some stuff out of the ditch from the county?
yes, and I did that, and I've got photographs to prove it. So I'm just,
So that's the issue.
I know it's the issue. All I was giving, sir, all I was giving was a
Understand though, but you understand the ground, I don't. Okay?
I got
So
you.
I'm not able to track. All
I
I was
understand.
told is you wanted to come in and contest about this money or something.
Well, this is a bigger deal, because the blocking of the permit, there's a prescriptive easement that for 40 years, sir, this approach leads right back into the approach issue. After we left down there, number one, I give Ken Miller a plat map, and I said, I would like to continue on where the county road ends here, and I'd like to access my land at the end of the county road in this 40-foot easement where the county road ends. I give him a plat, that's in 2019, 2020. I still haven't received an answer from that. So then when we was leaving there, I said, Ken, let's go up and look at these trees. Up in this same approach, we're sitting right there, and I've got pictures of that. Ken said, I really don't have time. I said, it's on your way out of here. Can we stop by there? Okay, so he got him to stop by. We stopped by first Kyle's approach, and I said, I need access into Lot D here. It's a 20-acre residential lot that was formed in the end of the 70s by John Schwab, 80s. Could you go to the next picture, please? When the county approved the lots for the John Schwab subdivision, and it's on one of the other pictures. There was always an access in there, and that's been 40 years. When they approved the lots, this is Lot D, where this stake is here, this is the lot pin. So right out here is the lot pin, it was actually behind, Gibson put his fence out into the county, and the lot pin was here. There's pictures to prove that the traffic always come in, there's even a Google map that shows the road, the access road in here. You come in here, and you went, there's a road that shows the access, but you come in here and you access Lot D. That's a residential lot, Lot D. Not developed by me, 1979, 1980 timeframe, John Schwab developed it. He then sold that one to Brian Backer. Brian Backer brought his family up there. He put a house, he built a road down through the center, brought a scraper in, cut ditches, built the road up for a year-round residence, moved a trailer house back into the back of that Lot D, residential lot, put electrical, put sewer in. This was used for him, for his family. This was the access. It's shown on, I have it in here. The access has been there so long that it's shown on Google Maps. It shows.
What does this picture have to do with this approach that we're talking about?
I'm giving you, trying to give you reference to this whole thing. So you
Who's
see,
doing that dirt work there?
that is my landscaping that I'm doing for a house and a shop.
Where's this approach?
Well, like I said, this is the approach. It's been used for 40 years here. And before I did this landscaping in here, you'll see the road and it goes right in through there. There's another picture of that. But the important issue there is, for 40 years, and I used that approach, I bought this property, I've owned the property for 25 years.
So did the county come out there and move that dirt or something?
That dirt is on the private land. The county come out, and when I put this in here, I go ask Ken Miller, first of all, I pulled those trees out of here. They were 30 feet tall trees, and they were spread out. And Dave Kitson, the neighbor, come running over right away, because Ken told me I could pull them out that spring. He come running right, and we had issues before, but he come running right over the fence, start screaming at me for pulling those trees out. He didn't care about the school bus. He didn't care about the traffic coming in and out of there, reduced visibility. He didn't care about none of that. He just was mad that I might be accessing my lot. You see, after I sold Kitson, my house is at the end there. You see the roof line. I sold Kitson 5 acres off to this side. I put a 50-foot easement through there. He's got a 12-foot
Ziegler?
narrow fence.
Mr. Erickson, may I explain what I know on this here and try to sum this up a little bit?
Can I finish my presentation?
Depends how long it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Just make sure I can define my role. There is zero chance I can decide any of this stuff.
Could you let me finish?
It's not gonna help, okay? And here's why. There's a limited issue before the commission, right? And that's this money issue. Now, I don't know what role the commission wants me in here. I'm temporarily covering the state attorney jobs, okay? So let's hypothetically say this was McLean County or Sheridan County where I'm the state's attorney full-time, all the time and not temporary. What would happen here right now is the commission would decide what they want to do. And if they couldn't make a decision and they wanted me to handle it, I would go out on the road there with the interested parties. And I would look at all arguments. And then I would make a decision. But whatever I say, that's what's going to happen. There's no appeals, there's no complaining to commissioners. What I do when I handle these is I understand it on the ground. I can't understand it abstractly here. Okay, there's too much information. But what I would do is take the road guy, probably the sheriff's department, we'd go out there and we'd set the rules of the road. because what happens with these road disputes universally is sometimes they're not even about the road disputes. There's a bunch of hate developed between neighbors, and you can't govern over hate. If you try to do one thing, the other side wants to get back at them, and it goes. So that's why when I go out there, that's the law. And what that means is, sometimes I give people 2 days to get their stuff out of there, or the county blade comes by and takes the ditches, the gates, whatever it takes, and blows them up into a pile. Whatever it is, I'm gonna go out there. If you want me to come out there, if that's what you're saying, you wanna explain all this to me, Ken and I, Sheriff, will come out there and I'll understand it. But then I'm gonna issue what the county policy is gonna be there, and we're gonna solve it. But what can't happen is what I'm seeing in this file is years and years of continual spinning. So if you wanna give me all this information, we're gonna do it out on the road.
I'd like to give it so the public can understand it.
Yeah, well, whatever, but you're wasting everybody's time.
I don't think so.
Make a ruling, you've already got a letter saying you gotta get this stuff out of the ditch. and
Can I
you
present my evidence to that, to that
It's up to the commission on what they wanna
accusation?
do, but you seem like you wanna try your case to me, and I can't follow any of this.
I'm giving many of these commissioners were not here when this first went in. Some of this is new to them. They don't, could you just?
What do you want them to do? What do you want them to do? Mr.
Yep.
Ziegler, what do you want them to do?
I would like to let them view the presentation, let them view everything,
But let's
and
say
then
they
let
do
them
that.
make a decision.
What's the end game?
What's the end game is, I want you guys to see what exactly went on there, because I have pictures of it. This is when I first extended the approach. I asked Ken Miller, is there a permit needed to extend the approach? He said, no. He told me, they didn't give me 30 days, or 29 days. He said,
Mr.
pull this
Can I
out.
talk?
I pulled all this
Just a
dirt
minute,
out.
just a minute.
Sir, I sloped this ditch because, and put that culvert in there, because one thing, it's an accident, terrible hazard to run into it. It's not legal, the slope on it wasn't legal.
Okay, just a minute, Mr. Ziegler, just hold on. Yes, Ken, you had a comment?
Okay, we'll back up with the trees, first of all. He had said that, he goes, the trees are there and I will take them out, and I says, that's fine with me. So him telling to the public that I did not go and take them out right away, you said you were gonna take them out. And you did take them
I
out.
couldn't even get you to come up there.
Okay,
Sure.
were those
Okay.
trees in
the
county
right
right
of
away?
Right by the culvert.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so if you look at this map, here's the whole issue, okay? This is why, at first, right over here is Dave Gibson's house.
Yes.
Okay? Back here is Mark's house, okay? Now, what he wants to do is develop this lot, okay? This land up to Kyle's, which is over here.
That's
Kyle
already
has a
developed.
private road going into his place, okay? So his lot is right here, this extra lot. Now, we don't know, it hasn't been subdivided, right, Cindy? So we don't know if there's gonna be 4 residences there, 5 or 6 or 2 or whatever, okay? So here's my concern. This road coming out here is Mark's and Dave's, okay? So if you line this approach and you have another approach coming out of here, you see a funnel effect?
Okay,
That's what was my biggest concern here, is the funnel effect of this road coming in here. If it was done right, what should happen is where this middle of this, where the property is here and the properties are over here, there should be a road going straight to the east.
That's what
Along
there
that
is.
fence line. And these guys tie into it. They all come into that east-west road and come out of the same approach.
That's
What
there.
he went and took upon himself is to widen that approach after he was not told to, because I told him you could put an approach down here in the middle. That's where he was approved, and he never did take the approach out to do it. Instead, he went over here and widened this approach upon his own deal. And that is why I went to the commissioners, and they said, take it out, and that's what we did, and that's what $4,640 later, he still hasn't paid his bill. Like I say, this is, he
Okay.
didn't say it, he has a thing saying this, but here's the deal, this was developed then, now we have 2 residences coming out here. And it's coming into a funnel effect coming out the same.
Are you saying I did not take that dirt out of there after you told me to? Are you
did
saying
all
that?
this, you took it out, I went up there, and I had to put topsoil in there yet too. to
Are
get
you
it
saying
done.
that I didn't remove that dirt from the culvert? I got pictures right here to prove that I did.
you been up there?
Can we see the next picture?
Okay,
Let me ask Ken something here. What's the current problem up there? What right now needs to get
It's
fixed?
done now. It's
Everything's-
done. What he was told to do, we went and did, and then charged.
okay.
What's the issue?
I don't have an issue anymore, the issue's taken care of, the issue is him not paying his bill.
So
And
that's
him
on his-
thinking that he can use
that's on
this as
his-
an approach to get into this field over there, that's continuing.
So there's nothing we have to look at on the ground, you got the approaches the way you want them now?
Yes, yep,
Okay,
All right, and you got the bill?
yes.
All right.
And I wanna show the proof of what they did. He's
Yep.
not telling you the truth. This year, and I've got witnesses, and I've got proof right here, the pictures I gave you.
Yeah, but here's the deal,
He's not
Mr.
telling
There's-
the truth.
Mr. Ziegler, there's zero chance the county's gonna reverse its position, they've already put it on your taxes.
All I want him to do is listen to the truth. If he can present his side and I can't present mine, then what is that?
This is a divorce case, you're
Yeah.
never gonna get to the bottom of it. The bottom line is, you gotta pay the 4,600.
Could we go through the pictures?
It's up to the commission, I'm just
Uh,
saying. I don't-
it's,
Okay,
I don't,
Mr.
at this point, I don't
Yeah.
think we need to.
Mr. Chairman and
It's-
fellow board members, I suggest, as a board, we proceed with our present action regarding Mr. Ziegler.
Yep.
And the money that was put against his taxes. If he wants to file a complaint, then he can go through the proper legal
Yep.
channels. Move on with where we are. I don't want to reverse anything.
No, right now, no.
I just want you to view the evidence.
Sir,
If you
thank
can take 15 minutes to view this and make
Okay.
a decision, I'm good with it. But for you
You've
guys to
had-
just not even let a guy present his case,
You had a
that's a
30-day
whole other
notice.
story.
Yeah,
You
you
got a
had
30-day
ample time
notice
prior
before-
to this.
Listen, I didn't get a bill from this county work from the time, I never got a bill from the onset of this, all last year. When Jessica Binder left the office
Okay.
here is when I first got the bill.
Okay,
Now, this was originally 2020.
okay,
Never got
we're,
a
But
bill.
should- it
Okay,
should've
we're
been
done.
At that time then. sir.
Yes, so I'm
cut off that
just
mic.
here to present the evidence, and hopefully you guys can look at both sides. If you can't, then I have to present the evidence in a court.
okay.
At
We're,
least there I
this,
know I can
then,
get.
we're, I'm sorry, we're done, Mr. Ziegler. We gotta move on. Okay, next.
Can I just say, for nearly 40 years, a prescriptive easement has been used to enter Lot D. Lot D is a residential lot. That was developed by John Schwab. It's
You
not a
can-
new development.
You can go through, yep, you can go through the process again with planning and zoning or the regular process. Okay. Next. We have, Dennis and Karine Flemmer, section line issue. I've read some of this, I wasn't here when some of this was, discussed, is I guess the word I'll use. So as of right now, my understanding is you want to, can you come up? You want to fence off the section line? Okay. Okay, and my understanding, I have to call it a section line for now. You can say it's not, that's fine. We can agree to disagree here, okay? And, in my understanding, it was a public right-of-way.
Yeah, it's on my property.
And it's
yeah.
brand new to me, so all I could do is read
It's
minutes from,
They got signs up low maintenance road,
Say it's minimum maintenance.
minimum
correct?
maintenance, yeah.
Mhm.
But we were in here, I think it was '08 or '09, and,
We
I
showed
mean, they
September
didn't
of
find no
09.
easements or nothing for it, and, they said it's not a section line or a quarter line.
and you're saying the county has no easement on it?
As far as I know, they don't.
And currently now you have it gated off,
Yep, I do.
correct?
Cause I'm tired of all the dead deer that are laying in there and garbage
Okay,
and I got a picture of my daughter dropped my pickup in a hole because there's big holes in each side of it, and my daughter dropped my pickup in here about 3-4 years ago. And
Okay.
you can't see it because of the tall grass.
well, I think what it would come down to is if it's, county has easement on it or not, and if the
Well,
county
that's what I've
doesn't.
been told. If you got proof, then I can't close it, but if you guys
We would have
Don't no
to,
proof?
do you know?
I was told it's my property,
We need you to prove to us that you have proof.
cause, Patrick Donovan and Hazen, he sent Jessica Binder when she was here 3 letters, and she never responded to all 3 letters. We even got a copy of the letter.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I agree if we don't have,
Jim Johnson, state's
okay.
attorney.
It has been bladed for probably 14, 15 years.
So what you're looking for is you're looking for proof from us that we have the easement, or do not.
Right.
Okay. Can you give us some time to research that, because you haven't got answers on the other
Yeah.
letters, so we'll have to go back and look at, see if we can acquire that, either way.
Lad?
That's not gonna be the issue, whether or not, that still is a public road, it looks like to me, if it's on that map. And there's a statute that makes that a public road. I just texted, Sandy to bring it in here. But if that road's been there more than 20 years, open and notoriously, it's declared by state law to be a public road. There won't be a filing made on the deeds, ever, rarely. So the issue there, I'm guessing, I put it up there because the sheriff and others have dealt with this one. It's probably terrain impinged from getting on that section line, is why originally they built the road like that. You see a little crook in it up from Zap there, 1.5 miles. My guess is that's all terrain driven. That does not preclude that from being a public road if it's off the section line. There's a legal test that I'm gonna give you, and then it's automatically declared a public easement. Now, if there's a school bus route in there, there's other rights to travel to land. So there's a case out of McKenzie County recently that established a test that the courts look at. But the statute's very clear. And usually when they end up on a plat book like that, there's no question that they're public roads.
But it's
Give me the
also-
statute so you'll have it, but it won't be on the deed.
Also falls under, lawyer found, it also falls under 24-07-31. Non-use for 10 years will vacate the highway.
That
If it's-
usually
if
can't be used against the government.
If it's abandoned.
Okay. So, those prescriptive deals, you usually can't do adverse possession against the government, but that's, a point. If some private person abandoned it for 10 years, they could lose their rights to it. Government doesn't have to go police all the public right-of-ways out there. They couldn't possibly do it.
Okay, then why can't I get the county to put cattle crossings in there then?
Well, that's a different issue if we want to do that, Ken. I don't know if you got any of them, but what's the issue with putting cattle guards there?
Well, the way we've been working with the cattle guards is it's up to the landowner. We can put them in, but they're gonna be responsible for them, is what we do.
Right.
So if that's government road, why would I have to pay for it?
Well, there also, the government can tell you to take your gate off, you just say there'll be no gates on it, period.
We still need proof.
You got it in the state law, I'm just telling you.
Okay, so if there's an accident out there or something, the only reason why you got the signs up there, so if there's an accident, they can't come after you, but it's my property, so they can come after me.
Well, it's like any other road. Any road, you still own the road up, you still own the land up in the middle of the section lines and stuff. Whether there's an accident, depends on who created the hazard and all that other stuff. Ken, why isn't that road getting some maintenance?
That sign's been up there for, ever since I've been, you probably know that sign's been there too, right?
Yeah.
Since about 07 or 08. Yeah.
It was put up in 08.
But it never gets bladed, never gets taken care of.
Well, we blade it, but the only thing is, we can't blade that part where it's gated off.
I just gated it off last
We
year.
just gated it off last year.
But it was done before that.
And then what do you do about these holes? People fall in them holes. There's a culvert there, and it's washed out so bad.
We'll have to go in there and fix those, but I mean, like I say, that was gated off. How can we go in there and fix them if it's gated off? And there was time before that, it was gated off too, before you were told to take it down to this last time.
Lad, what kind of maintenance do we have to do on the main, road?
That depends on the circumstance. You can't leave a known hazard.
Okay.
You can have liability under our insurance policy. You've got, like, if you've got a big hole right after it, if anybody would have fell into it, that would be held against you for damages.
Okay.
But, you get a pouring rain and the county doesn't, and then all of a sudden somebody runs it up or something like that, and it creates, it has to be reasonable. And then the signs help you with that, say, hey, everybody's on notice, we're not doing
Right, the
maintenance.
sign will protect the county, but the sign will protect us.
It should.
What's our policy on cattle guards?
Calgars, they have to go in front of the commissioners for, when we did that one for Lundstrom, you have to go in front of the commissioners for approval. And either they can put it in themselves to, they have to put the signs up themselves, that's all on their dollar. And to maintain it too, is on theirs. And they have to have a bypass in there, so if that, to go around it. But that's what it says, century code is what, for those cattle guards.
Okay, so the county hasn't paid for the install of any cattle guards. And I know a few months ago, when we cleaned some out, we passed those, charges on to the landowners at that time.
No, because a lot of those were agreements back way in the.
Okay,
when it
but I
was
mean,
handshake.
I remember we talked about
But
those.
anything newer, with the last, we've only had two cattle guards, that was north of Hazen there, and that was upon the landowner's request, and he paid for it. And built a bypass.
He paid for it,
Fill in the hole.
for the clean out of it.
There's one on each side. There's a big mud hole there, so she was taking manure out to the cows, so she thought she could go around that big mud hole and drop my pickup in there. I could've changed the back tire just by standing there.
So the mud hole was actually on the road itself, and then she was going around it
She
into the
tried
ditch?
to go around it and fell right in that hole, and there's one on each side, there's one on the other side of the road too. And if people fall in there, they're gonna do some damage, cause it did some damage on my pickup.
And normally for those circumstances, can we have to clean that out around there, so you can see where the
Probably have to
culverts
see
were?
it first, if it's in the road travel and we gotta,
It's
but
in,
it's,
Call us anytime and we would gladly
it's
take
in
you
our
over
right
to
of ways.
try this.
it was open, like I say, for when you guys were told to take it down, then all of a sudden it's gated, and then I get calls from Melissa Wygum, I get
Okay.
calls from Dale Bauer, I get calls from Earl Bufink, why it's not open, so, I can't get in there, and why, but I need to go in there if you have it gated off.
Did you, I don't know if I'll be told be quiet here or not, but, did you not know that this road was in poor shape, and then you drive down it anyway and you fall in a rut?
Well, that's how I get to my pastures and my fields.
I understand that, but if you know that there's a washout,
Well, she didn't
I would
know
say
it.
she had no idea that this
She
road
didn't
was
know
in
that
this
hole was there.
poor a shape until this happened.
I know that hole was there.
That doesn't matter. You had no idea that this road was in this kind of shape.
Well, I go down it just about every other day when I'm farming.
And then you didn't know that this washout was there.
Well, I
You go
know
down
that
it every
hole's
other
there.
day.
I know that,
Oh,
I know
okay.
that hole's there, but my daughter didn't.
We asked Jessica Binder and she says,
I'm not-
maintenance road is when they wanna maintain it, not when we want it maintained, when they wanna do it. When the county wants to do it, they'll do it, she said.
Yeah.
So we have gotten nowhere with the county.
But it says right in our policy, we have no obligations to improve or maintain section
Okay,
lines. So,
let's see if we can sum this up a little bit. It looks like the gate is on there improperly, it needs to be removed, I'm just saying that's the way it appears. And it also knows that there's some known hazards, if there's some known hazards, we have to go up and fix them.
Right.
Am I pretty close on that, Glad?
Well, I don't know if you need to remove the gate yet. Cattle guard, if you guys are open for that, that might be play, but blocking the gate's another issue.
Well, I got the gate on the one end, where off the gravel road, and then where I got it blocked off is at the end of his land. His land is actually right on the other side.
Is okay, road. I'm gonna quit
I
using,
just
I'm gonna
got-
quit saying section line.
And I just got, it's just gated there, it's not padlocked right now,
It's not.
no.
So a
Okay.
person could get
Wasn't there
through?
an issue though that it was padlocked
the
recently?
one on the south side, that, them pounded into the ground, aren't they?
Well, it's big drop, that was need a load and move.
Right.
Okay, so can we,
If it's
are
gated,
we,
That's different.
as a
The one-
county,
the one-
can we agree that he can have a gate on there, but not padlock it?
Well, I'd wanna see it on the ground and hear from the people that are impeded by travel. Sounds like the best solution is just get a cattle guard in there.
Okay,
And then if the county doesn't want any gates on there, that may or may not matter, depending on how much travel, but they've gotta be gates that an average elderly person can open easily. They can't be, like, sometimes you wanna put them in with no barbed wire gates that somebody can't pull across a big road. They gotta be easy opening gates, not
Right.
hard gates. Okay,
That's,
it's not
that's
that
what I
much
got
travel.
on the
I
north
don't
end.
know, here's what I don't know, the downstream landowners that wanna get in there, do they gotta frequently get in and out of it? Or is it just that occasionally, and that's where a gate doesn't really matter if it's an occasional traverse?
See, I don't know any other landowner that has to go in there, because I just got my land. It's where my land is on both sides.
But that road looks like it goes for quite a stretch here, it starts in Zap and goes all the way up.
See, Merle here,
We own the land on both sides.
and
But it
he
don't
owns
matter.
the land on both
It's
sides.
a
of the
road.
ground.
What I'm saying is they might wanna
It's a
go,
road.
there's this Gilbertson and Wygum and there's all this
Right,
other stuff.
I say it's a road, so we have to have access.
Have access to that.
Rudolph Fossey don't live out there, nor he's dead.
Well, there's gotta be some weedery land up in there someplace.
Delphine's she's got 6.8 acre field right here.
Yeah, we
And
should
I
be
own
able,
all this.
I mean, put some dirt in where we need to and,
See if that gate's.
right.
Can you show me that again, please, sir?
What's
I think
that?
it does.
Can you show me that
And it's
again,
lot,
please?
it's not a lot.
We're
You- what do you own?
I own all this, right here. And then Delphine has a 69 acre field right here that I farm. And my one place is right here. So I own all this, except this piece here. And then you just go over to here, here's 13. And see, Merle owns this on both sides too. So, and I got it closed right here, and then down here I got it closed, but I got gates.
Jessica Binder told us it was a private land, but we have to leave it open. So your private yard, any of you, you have to leave it open and somebody can drive across it.
Can I ask you a question?
Right?
How hard
Well,
would it
'cause
be,
this
or
is a
is
road.
is it
That's the
okay
whole
to,
It's
difference.
not private land though.
if we chose to let you have a gate on there, can you make it so it's easily opened and closed?
On the south end,
So that we can drive in there and do our
both ends.
maintenance on it?
yeah. Cause all I got right now on the north
As
end.
long as you close
is a
it,
big
but
patch.
there's no leave them open.
So let the-
12 swing gate
Well, we can't.
on the north end.
Wait, if we have gates, can you get the blade in there to do the road?
Yeah, if we
Yeah.
make it wide
Why
enough, yeah.
don't you, I would just delegate it to Ken to try to work this out, make sure it's easy to get through in and out of there for the public.
Right.
Hmm?
And this, there might be some more questions, but no lock in the gate, and it can't be one you put on with a fence stretcher or something like that, so then we, have to be demanding to get it out of there, but can you make it work?
Yeah. So how does that work if someone does leave it open and they,
Yeah.
that's the question too on the private landowners.
That's a different issue.
That's another issue then.
Did I have my picture back?
But that's just another, that's, we can't,
Right, I don't understand.
we can't enforce people.
Right.
Right.
See, the issue I got with this, I get a lot of deliveries from FedEx and MME.
Yep.
When they deliver at the plants, they like to take that back road, and it's fenced off, gated off, and they gotta back out a quarter mile with these semis. But it shows on their GPS, I can get to my place. on this road,
Right,
Why, sure.
But
yeah.
they can't.
right.
And where do you live?
So
Where,
if you take this off of GPS, yeah, close her up.
where do you live there?
Right
Sir.
south.
Right south there.
There it says
Merle, you're Merle?
Yeah.
But Merle, yet the ambulance can't find our place when the guy cut his hand off.
I know.
Figure that one
I
out.
know, my GPS don't work on my
The
area.
ambulance could not find them.
So you live south of that gate?
Yep, half a mile.
Why
I don't care if it's gated off, it don't matter to me, but I'm getting flack from everybody else, why is it closed?
Well, if they're worried about the gate being open, they should put it there, but I guess I would say the commissioner delegate it to Dean and Ken, and Dean, you got a lot of history with this spot. Just make sure it's open to the public travel, but hopefully nobody lets your cows out. If you put a cattle guard in there, that'd be best for everybody.
I would just soon see that get done rather than us making a decision. Because someone won't be happy if we make a decision, and I'd rather if you guys could work it out. What's that? Well, it's better if, and in the end, we will make a decision if not, if something can't be brought up, or if something can't be agreed to, put it that way.
But as of now, what do you want me to do as of now?
As of now, you can, leave your gate there as long as people can open it up and get through.
On the other end, they can, south end.
Well, it has to be on both ends though. It
Well, I'm
cannot
just
be
telling
on one
you
end,
what
okay?
was suggested, what was told to us, as long as the public can get through.
First thing we should do is, before we open it for travel, is to see where those holes are. Well, we need to get in there, but you need to make arrangements to get in there, okay? And then,
Okay?
What you need to do is you have a road that's obstructed,
Correct.
it needs to be open. That's a law.
Mhm.
Can't obstruct the road. So, but it needs to be fixed, it should be done soon, done whatever needs to be done, you cannot obstruct the road.
Right.
So is a easily open and closed road, is that termed an obstruction?
Right now, you're saying put a gate up, or not have a gate up to do this.
Okay. I'm just asking, because I don't know that.
If that's what you're gonna allow, you're gonna not allow to have gates on both ends.
Why don't you and Ken go up and look at it, Ken come back, and if you both want to come back to the next meeting and see if you reached the resolution, if you reached the resolution, that would be great.
Yeah, if you guys can come up with a resolution, we'll be good with it.
Otherwise,
very
I
likely,
like Merle's suggestion, take it off the GPS and get our.
We can't do that, that's
You
off
can't-
our
it
hands.
doesn't-
That's off our hands.
That would
We-
be nice.
yeah, that-
Unfortunately, we can't do that.
Cameras can't find us. We all know out there, the cameras
No.
can't find us.
that's above our
That's a
pay
different
grade.
issue.
Yeah, that's
We-
beyond
same
our
same
control.
problem here.
The fire department couldn't find me either.
So, once you guys go see if you can reach a resolution, if you can't,
We gotta go. Our
then we'll
neighbors
get
have a fire
involved.
today, so we gotta go.
Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I think they better put in a cattle guard.
Yeah, I think that's the best solution.
Cattle guard.
I can go with pictures. Sometimes it helps, sometimes
Why do we have to have two of these?
They came around years ago.
it doesn't. What else we got left? Oh,
Okay, next on the agenda,
Mr. Erickson's up.
state's attorney's position, replacement issues. Thank you, Ken.
So I got,
Pull the mic down.
you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but it doesn't record very well.
Well, just with those road issues and stuff they were on this morning, I thought it'd be better to deal them this afternoon. I have court every other Wednesday when you guys have commission, so I'm jammed up till noon. So I don't know how much I can make over here. I guess, you know, we gotta get our arms around this state's attorney position. It's, the battlefield you're on is not an easy one. I did print this off for you guys off the Association of Counties on what other state's attorneys are making. I don't know how much it's gonna, you know, some of these don't really give you much information. The Cass County guy's at $139,000, he's been there forever, it's a big office, you know, that's really not comparable. McKinsey is at $129,600 for their state's attorney. Some of the bigger offices are 140.
What's Sioux County? I'm just kidding, Glenn.
Yeah, Sioux County,
I'm just
Sioux
kidding.
County's at 56,000 for part-time.
Yeah.
I get, you know, Cass, 139. Dunn, I was wondering what they were. Dunn is at 90.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's a full-time position.
It is. It's definitely the next
So anyway, that's what the Association of County has. I guess what I would say here is we're in trouble. We gotta do some sort of something different. It's been on the website for months, 6 weeks, whatever it is, and we're
Yeah,
not
we've
getting any
got nothing.
interest. Some of the battlefield you're on, I can just give you, is the court-appointed attorneys are in the same boat. They can't find people, they can't get hires. They're at 70,000 and they're just struggling to get anybody to even apply. Judges are at 140,000 and they're getting very few apps for judgeships now. Private lawyers are making a lot of money, couple $100,000 starting after a few years out of law school. We're in a position where somebody's gonna wanna move probably. There isn't a resident, you know, lawyers. I did give Shanna some stuff, the Bar Association, I don't know if she shared that with the
Yep.
commission.
Yep.
But I don't know if that's a program you wanna look into.
I just had one question on it. When I was reading through it, it says the attorney applicant must agree to live and participate, full-time participate in communities for at least 5 consecutive years. My concern is, you know, we have elections every 4 years, so we couldn't.
Well, it wouldn't be their fault if they didn't get elected then, I don't think, you know, under that.
So that
I
might
guess-
be something that might be, okay.
Yeah. I
That
don't
was
know
just
if that
my
was
only concern.
Tailored for state's attorneys versus, or public officials versus just getting somebody, get attorneys in rural areas.
Right, yeah, I just didn't wanna have it where we apply for it, get it, and then we can't follow through. with what's part of it.
I guess that's a factor they'll have to consider on it. But that just went into effect, I didn't know about it. South Dakota tried it, worked out really well, so we're modeling it after South Dakota. I think they have funding for 4 target pilot projects in North Dakota. So is that something that you guys wanna look at?
Well,
I think we're, yeah, many option.
My
And I mean, we looked
question-
at it literally, not-
I have a question, lad. I want to, the worst case scenario. So we have no state's attorney in in North Dakota that'll volunteer, as you did, to help us out. What happens at that point?
I don't know.
Oh.
At some point.
You haven't had, this hasn't happened before?
Well, I don't know. The Attorney General has some backup responsibilities under the law, but I don't know what the staying power there would be either, you know, so if just everybody refused, you offered $1 million a year and nobody put in, I mean, what, I guess, you know, I don't know. I mean, what I'm saying, I don't know where you've exhausted everything.
Okay.
You know, it's just a tough environment like it is, you know, some of our businesses and yours, I'm sure, are not open all the time now because they can't get employees. Well, if you steamroll that into having somebody that comes out of law school with $200,000-300,000 in debt, trying to start a family, move to an area, buy a house, it's hard to do that on $100,000, you know, with the amount of obligations and stuff. You know, and I would not be afraid of taking a new person, and it just depends on the person. If they're interested in the mission, you can mold them. You've got an excellent, I'll just tell you this, you've got one of your biggest assets is your staff over there. You've got a top-notch staff that can run about 95% of that office without a state's attorney. That's why it's able to float where I just parachute over here for court, and then text and stuff during the day. But if you lost that staff over there, your county would be in serious trouble. So I would much rather see you guys pursue a rookie, as long as you're gonna keep your staff that would listen. What you want is a guy that, or a person, a lady or a man, that has an IQ of 130 but thinks it's 120, okay? Doesn't think they know everything, right? You don't want one that has an IQ of 130 but thinks it's 160, and then you can't talk to them, right? If you can get a person in here that knows enough to listen to people like Sandy and Michelle and the sheriff and Terry Turnus on the dirt road common sense stuff, they'll fit in fine. Problems come in is where you think because you went to law school you know a lot. Well, they don't teach you how to handle these road fights and stuff in law school. It's stuff you learn over time, how you gotta stick with your foot down or not or whatever. So don't be afraid of someone that they made, if you see a resume, you know, that if you can recruit someone that doesn't have maybe an extensive resume, what you're looking for is the character is willing to do the job and willing to learn. But you may have to get over 100,000 just to get those people these days. There's jobs in the public sector in Bismarck and Minot. Well, I'll just tell you, the one that you had here put in up in Minot, had 2 applicants at 86,000, and both of them had been released from their prior job. One from the court appointed, and then this Odegaard that was here at 86 in Minot, where there's plenty of attorneys, you know, more of a pool of people that are from the area that may want to get a job there. So I don't know where it's all leading with this lack of attorneys. You're dealing with a problem much broader than Mercer County in rural areas and things like that. But it's very important to get a plan or something, you know, to try to get. And I'll just tell you, I got a personal interest in this thing. Right? Jess Binder was an excellent lawyer. You guys had a good system over here, a really good office. And whenever I wanted to take a weekend off, my dad had issues last year before he passed away. I had to go away on weekends. Jess covered McLean. I could cover when she had hockey. It helps me to have a good state's attorney over here. And if you get someone in here that's new and needs experience, I told Jess to tell the new guy, I'll come over on court days. I'll come over for his first couple trials, because it helps me having a good state's attorney that knows how, so they can cover McLean when I'm not available, you know?
Yep.
So.
There was several of us that made that suggestion too while he was here.
Yeah, and I never heard from him, you know, and it's hard to come into a job when you've never done it. There's so many unique things with getting search warrants and charges and little tricks. You just can't know that unless you listen to people like Sandy and stuff. But what I would say is, you might have to throw some 6 figures out there or something might be just time you've exhausted that, you look at what other options are.
Did we
Might
list
just-
them?
I don't know what else.
We
to
had
do,
depending on experience
Yeah.
before.
But it might have,
But
it's just
what you're
don't-
saying is we may have to put something on there to entice people.
It's not working the way you're doing it.
Right. No.
They've had 22 people hit that, just click on it at job service, right?
It's 20 views.
20 views.
That's it.
And it's just not garnering the interest, So,
Something wrong
Can I
with
ask
the
you a
page?
question? Is this a role that a couple attorneys that already reside in our county in private practice that they could assume?
well, it depends how much money you wanna pay. Now, as you
I
go
mean,
by-
not full-time, I mean, they would still be able to have their practice, but also assume this responsibility. Would they be able to do that?
It depends on, here's what I would say about that, and I think I know what you're talking about. That might be, you have to determine how much, that, if you did it by the hour, you'd end up with $200,000-$300,000, $400,000 in legal bills.
Way over.
Understandable.
Easy, I'm just saying, if you have somebody do the criminal and they're on call on the hour to do criminal, I don't know how you could ever afford it.
I
and
wasn't
then-
planning on doing it by the hour.
But the civil side too would also be potential $200,000-$300,000 in bills, depending on what the civil issues the county's getting into.
No, I wasn't hoping that they would take this on as another part-time position on a salary that we could agree on, but not by the hour. I don't think we can afford anything by the hour.
I don't think you're gonna get a contract for that.
No.
And I would be very,
This is
I
a-
would be very concerned about making sure that if you lose your staff, not that that would cause that or anything like that, but just the amount of hours that a private staff would have to bill you from what you're already getting from your staffers in there, like if they pulled the plug. So I would make sure you're looping everybody in, if you have to go to the private counsel on a contractual basis, what does that mean? Because if you lose your staff here, that means your private attorneys are gonna end up having to do the staff work,
No, we don't want that.
and
no.
that could get into hundreds and hundreds of thousands
Quickly.
quickly. So, every morning get an email from your staffs, to get stuff ready for court at 1:30. If you started going by the hour on all that, it would just,
Let me ask you, and I might not be asking the question properly, but I'm gonna ask it. Let's just say we had a local attorney that they maintained their private practice, and they were willing to assume all the responsibilities required here at the same salary that we were paying Jessica. Would that, and our staff would stay here.
I don't know. That's.
Okay.
Then you'd have to do civil. I don't know, if they would, if what local attorneys would wanna do that way. You need a full-time dedicated state's attorney with the workload you have.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the other issue we have in this area that affects us all is the lignite industry is facing a lot of challenges and is going to face more challenges going forward, and a positive legal representation of the county is going to be critical coming forward, potentially,
There's always gonna be more in that last word.
Well, because of the importance of the lignite industry to the region, the county certainly has a dog in the fight on how policies are decided by private companies from out of state, and what your ground looks like, and all these other things. So I would hesitate to say that you can get by with private counsel and not a full-time state's attorney. But if you end
Okay.
up, that's all we got, nobody has replied, but, I just wanted to come over and say, yeah, I don't know what else, these numbers I'm seeing people get paid, it seems shocking to me, that it's gonna take that, but I wouldn't be shocked if you guys end up with needing 125,000 like McKinsey. I remember when the oil boom hit in Watford City, they had the private attorneys there, Dennis Johnson and Ross Sundin doing the state's attorney until the oil boom happened. And then they went into full-time state's attorney from part-time, and I don't remember how they graduated up to the 140,000, but they had a heck of a time getting 4 or 5 attorneys. Finally, when they got into that 125, 130, people would move there and take jobs. So I don't know if that's the model you're looking at, but, if that's the reality on the ground, it seems like it might be. I just think you need to get your arms around it somehow,
What are we presently offering in our ad? Do we have any number?
80 to 90.
dated, my age is dating me, these numbers are getting awful high.
But when you look at what everybody else is
I
paying,
understand the reality.
we're gonna have to do something because
dangle.
We can't
this is
sit on
not
our
working.
thumbs anymore.
I think if we were to change something, maybe we should, advertise salary negotiable.
Well, I think they are doing that, but
Yeah.
I'm worried about the way
And
they do say that,
Depending on
but
experience and, yeah,
But we don't have a number there at all, though, do we?
we do now.
That's what I mean, remove that number and just say salary negotiable.
Well, we first had depending on experience, then we had a number in there and still aren't getting anything with the numbers that we have.
But that's why he's suggesting a minimum with 6 numbers.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
I think you've tried it other ways, so.
Yeah, I
yep,
mean,
I,
Okay,
and obviously this is for the appointment and then come election, but still, once you've set that precedence and that's what the pay is, it's gonna be really hard to reduce it.
I don't think we're gonna get anybody if we reduce it.
I don't think so either.
I was just on the, where I was going with that was I was understanding that we have advertising 80 to 90, and my suggestion was gonna be to remove the 80 to 90 and put in there, something negotiable. But you said, I haven't read the ad myself, I'm sorry, but apparently,
Yeah, we started
apparently
out
we've done all
depending on
that.
experience, then went to 80 to 90, hoping that we could get somebody, and now we're still not getting anybody.
Okay,
Yeah. Well, however you proceed, I'd be sure that staff, you're lucky you got that staff. in
We are
there.
very lucky we have them.
So make sure they're,
Taken care of.
comfortable, because if they pull the plug on you, it'd be hard on a new person coming in without that experienced staff there. It'd be really tough. And they could then leave on you or something, because it's just too much, but
And-
that's,
and
so could
that's an
we-
ace you got there.
could we, advertise, say, I don't know, do we put a number down, like, say 90 plus, or?
I don't know.
I
Need
think it-
ideas,
I think
need
this-
ideas.
I think this is something that we need to resolve today, as long as it takes, because we're here. It's pretty important. We've been waiting a long time, so how we want to proceed, let's resolve that today.
Let me just think out loud, is there a way to do a base and a probationary bump? In other words, if you based it at, let's say you did a base salary at 100, and there's a potential post 6-month probationary period upon graduation, there'll be an adjustment upward. Something that tells that person,
As far as I understand, I think it's open to what we choose
Yeah.
as commission, because it's appointed right now.
yeah.
So I think that is something that we could do.
Yeah. While it's
And-
appointed, you could do a probationary raise type thing, or something. I don't know if that would entice more people.
How would next year's election come into play? Let's just say we hire somebody for $110,000. Come election time, are they gonna have to run for election?
Yes.
Yes, they would.
So that's another thing that's holding them back, is a temporary spot.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Does anybody have a copy of the ad with them?
I think Shanna gave it to us, didn't she?
I don't,
What is board appointment stuff?
Oh,
I've never
no.
looked at it, because I don't need to apply.
Yeah.
No.
Appointments.
Can look it up on the Supreme Court website, I think.
Yep. Well, you have to get a people at Supreme Court, I think you apply for this, and then if you get accepted, then those are similar things that you offer. Look at.
If we apply for this, how much time is this gonna take?
I don't know. I just pulled it off and told Shannon I hadn't really looked through it. I just heard about it and
I
sent
bet
it
it
over.
could take 60 days.
I don't know, and you'd be the guinea pigs too, probably.
Yeah,
don't know if
I
anybody's
mean, if it's a
applied.
brand new program, there's probably not a timetable on it.
Well, we can apply for this program, but in the meantime, I think we need to move forward on,
Yeah.
Yep.
I gotta leave in about 10 minutes to get to a school appointment, so just putting that out there.
yeah. Well, I would like to see us, to put it plain simple is, let's change our ad and put a different salary amount in there and come to a consensus here of what it should be. I can't disagree with Lad's suggestion. That sounds pretty reasonable. Put a dollar figure with a probationary raise.
Yep.
And maybe we'll get Lad, because if we say 100,000, he's only getting 96 right now.
Lad's ready to retire.
I was gonna say, I don't know.
You also said you got Sheridan too.
Yeah.
I don't get paid for Sheridan.
Oh,
Oh,
My county gets paid,
I was gonna say,
so I don't have.
Okay,
So someone got an idea do we wanna advertise a number there?
yes, I do.
Yeah,
go ahead.
go ahead, Marvin.
I don't have the number, I just say we definitely want to, if somebody wants to put some number on there. What, we got 90,000 on there now?
Up to
Yeah,
you.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
it's gonna have to go to 6 figures.
yeah. Either
Well, then,
105
Make-
or 110.
make that, somebody make that motion.
Right?
Let's talk a second now, let's just say we put a number in there of, let's just say we leave it at, let's just say we put the value at 96,000, I'm just putting a number here.
Yeah?
Probationary, a possible raise, or if with satisfaction, something we gotta do.
With successful completion of probationary.
6-month probation to raise up to 110. Now, that's just getting some numbers to start with. Somebody else have another way of putting it?
Either that, Marv, or you throw 100,000 right on the top of the plate for your base salary,
90.
and because they'll catch that a lot faster, and they'll
Get
catch
that.
that 96.
True.
Yeah,
they'll
4,000
wonder
isn't a
why
lot
is
of
it
money
only
when we're talking
96?
all this
And
time.
then they'll
is it?
wonder why it's 96 and not 100, and that 100, you might catch a little more
Okay,
bait.
say
right?
put the base at 100, what would you do for a change at the probation?
Do
Or if
we
you went
wanna
to
advertise
110,
what the
10%.
probationary period
Yeah.
raise would
Yeah.
be?
I would say that.
I don't know if that works, I mean,
I mean, we're just making an attempt.
Why don't we just put an ad out there for a flat 105,000? We're gonna have to get elected next fall.
Or that.
We can always make a change after 6 months and
Well,
say,
yeah.
yeah, we really want to
We-
keep you.
We really,
Yeah,
yeah.
I would say we should probably advertise, what was the consensus, about 100,000?
105.
100 or 105?
105?
Yeah. And my only other question on, you talk about a set, probation period. The thing is that they'd have to have petition in place by April something to get on the ballot. So
Sure.
you almost need to have that probation prior to when that petition would be due, because you need to entice them to run.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's a time frame where we're at. I'd say, that would be in place maybe March 15th. I mean, it's gonna give us anywhere from
But-
100 and some to 90 days.
But now I'll be the critic here. Even if we advertise that, you'd have to say, how would you even word that? Because they have to have their petition in by, what is it, April?
It's like
So
the
you
second
even-
Tuesday in April.
Because you can't say 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, because what if we don't get anyone until February?
That's why I'm
That's what
saying
he's
like March
saying March
15th
15th.
would be the possible step up.
Okay, so you'd put an actual number in there, even if we hired them the 1st of March.
And I don't think you have to put that in the advertisement. That would be a discussion when we have interviews.
Okay.
I would
sounds
say, let's start with 105 on the listing,
Right.
and
With-
then, and see what
Yeah.
happens.
good. Okay, I agree with that. Okay,
And that might be how you get
This needs to be.
the right person. It does. I will move that we increase the salary base to 105,000 for the posting for the appointed state's attorney position.
I'll second that.
any more discussion? Let's see, I gotta get this. Travis, Marvin. Hearing none. Travis, how do you
Aye.
vote? Marvin?
Aye.
Liza?
Aye.
Wayne?
Aye.
Gene votes aye, motion passed. We will now advertise state's attorney at 105,000.
If that doesn't work with that, that'll do it. Shane, would you
All right.
go?
I was gonna retire next year. This is new thing that Cold Creek, I'm gonna stick around here.
I was gonna
Well, we
say,
appreciate everything you're doing for us, lad.
yes, we greatly appreciate what you're doing.
And they're like,
Okay,
like, that's something else, somebody
You guys
posts
want me to
it.
have these roads, but I go on the ground and I pretty much say, Blade's gonna be here tomorrow and it's gonna knock this gate off or whatever. If it's something that's been messing around with for years, you don't start out at that level, but if it gets into just a narcissistic fight out there,
And that's what we have. I think we need to go to that.
you
Yeah,
know,
I think it
this
just needs
here's
to
the
be.
deal. This is the end of the road. I'll listen to them. And I can't sort stuff out in the office. I gotta be on the ground to see it. I know you got frustrated, but you can't make sense of all of it unless you see what they're talking about.
Well, and that's what I tried to point out is if you want us to make the decision, we will. And if there's nothing else, meeting adjourned.
Thank you, James.
Otherwise, I'm walking up the stairs, so.